listening to M.T.V.B. podcast. Movies, TV, video and board games. This show may contain swearing.
Hello, welcome to a brand new episode of the M.T.V.B. podcast, the podcast that talks about my four favourite subjects, that's movies,
TV,
video games,
and board games.
I'm your host Anthony, as well as most people know me as the Antman, and welcome! Hey. New tech, new table. What did we say? No toys, I see. Welcome back, guys. It's been a while and it's great to be back for this episode. This episode is an episode that we've been waiting to do for a long time, and it is those favourite movie sequels that we love but everyone hates. And I'm joined around the table by guys that love to talk about sequels that they love but everyone hates. Introduce yourselves around that couch, please.
Oh, I'm Chris, I'm Heisenbyrne, and it's good to be back.
and I'm Supa Mario.
It's a me.
And I am Captain Two Lists.
He's taking it in, he's official. He's there. It's two lists, he's actually liking it.
Have we got two lists then?
No.
No.
Good start there, isn't it?
It all ends there.
It all ends there. So let's do the usual meet and greet of one another. Let's start with Heisenbyrne first.
Hello.
So, how are you? It's been
I'm
a while.
good. It's good to be back.
How was that list for you?
It was hard work.
Was it?
I did find it hard because it was either, well, I like it, so surely everyone else likes it.
That's good enough. That's how it
Or
works.
they were like, you look at them in the box office and they did well, and it's because everyone went to see it, but it still ends up being shit. And it's like, does it count? Because it wasn't a flop.
It's up to you, mate. I mean,
But yeah,
obviously
so
it counts,
I've got a list. I've got a good list. It's all over the place. I've got from child all the way
to now.
to now.
And that's exactly what I did.
Exactly. That's what you said before we started the podcast. Nice. Let's move over to
Hey,
Mr. Supa
it's
Mario.
Mario. Yeah, I think this was a difficult one.
Really?
Yeah, because like Chris said, I just assumed everyone liked my stuff. And when I start saying it out loud, everyone looks at me and goes, I don't remember that. It's like, okay, so that obviously didn't do very well. Or, no, that was really shit. I was like, oh, okay, cool. That's going on the list then.
You just gone with that. All these people didn't actually like what you liked.
Exactly that, yeah. So we sat and watched a couple of films and we're like, that was really good, wasn't it? No. Oh, okay.
My number one, even I've jumped on the bandwagon and slated it. You know?
Oh, seriously?
Yeah,
and then you ended up liking it.
Well, no, I've always liked it, but everyone kind of goes, oh, shit.
Yeah, but you're allowed to like it and slate it.
At the same time, yeah.
At the same time.
And then, of course, our resident doctor.
Ooh. Oh, well, yeah.
So no two lists.
No two lists. I couldn't shoehorn two lists into this. It just wasn't going to work. So I thought I'll save that. I'll save that for later on, other episodes. However, I totally agree with Chris. Yeah, it was difficult because you start remembering the films that you watched as a TV, as a TV. I am a TV. As a kid, and then as a teenager, and then as an adult, you just think, wow, yeah, they are pony, but I love them. And then
it can't be as bad as John's top five.
No,
his number one is a film he says he loves but he'll never watch. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, we all know what that film is, and it's on my honourable mentions list because it's that bad. However, yeah, so just going back to what Chris said, yeah, difficult list to put together, and you kind of span the generations in order to be able to get these out of the woodwork. But I don't know. I mean, yeah, I love them. I think they're great.
Yeah,
they are shite.
I think we all do, but they are shite.
So, you wait, you have no idea.
Honestly, I'm looking forward to it. When you guys were messaging on the group chat that your fives are going to be this good, I'm seriously intrigued now. I wonder if there's going to be any clashes in this one, but hey, we'll find out.
I don't think there will be.
Let's find out.
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
One.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Possibly.
So why a part two? So obviously this was one of those ones that's been recommended by people that when we did the first one, we got so much backlash from everyone's number ones that were on the first episode in season 4. And they've been asking for one for ages and we've just never done it until now. I don't know why, but I know it's one that you guys have always wanted to do. So I'm intrigued. big time on this
I
one.
thought I wanted to do it until I started trying to make it. And then I found that it was really kind of difficult.
I'll pass.
I felt we need to make an apology for John's list. So
100%.
So-
100%. So we'll do a couple of questions and then we'll go straight to top fives as normal. In your opinion, what qualifies as a bad movie sequel that you love that everyone hates?
exactly that.
Everybody.
But is it like a guilty pleasure? Is it like something that you, like Chris said at first, you hated at first, but you learned to love?
Everything. I think it comes down to most people don't like it, or it's just been slated. It started off good, and then it's just been slated over time, or it never gets talked about as a good film. It kind of gets forgotten. It just that was a sequel.
Yeah,
it was actually pretty good.
I think mine are more guilty pleasures.
Yeah,
definitely one of them is 100% a guilty.
It should have been top 5 guilty pleasures, really, shouldn't it?
But he's also he's also a really shocking film.
Guilty pleasure sequels, mate. Nice.
Oh, mate, it's guilty pleasure.
Guilty pleasure.
Such a deep hole in that one. Make of that what you will. But no, my number 5 is definitely a guilty pleasure. It will be very showing of the sort of films that I like as guilty pleasures.
Okay.
As well. So yeah.
Nice. Was you? We're going to go back to what Chris said earlier on. Like, when you saw it, was you kind of like under the radar that you liked it, and you told your mates that you didn't like it, but you're too embarrassed to say you really did, sort of thing?
Well, I think I mean, looking at the ones that I've got at the time, because I was a lot younger, you didn't know. So you watch the film and you think, oh, that was really, really good. I really enjoyed that. And the person sat next to you says, oh, that was really, really good. I really enjoyed that. And then you go out and people are like, that film was shit. I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay.
There's one film on my list that's like, to me and my mate, we've really enjoyed a couple of these films, sort of thing. So
right.
kind of like, I associate the film, spending a good time with my mate, watching a movie, and just enjoying that. I'll watch that film. You go, I'll go to the cinema with that person because it's the films you sort of watch. Yeah, it's just one of those.
But I think it's odd, isn't it? Because you go to the cinema with your friend, or you sit and watch it with your friend or a family member, and they're similar-minded to you, so you don't know that the film is bad at the time.
One of mine I went by myself.
Because
I wanted to see it so much.
To go by yourself.
No one will go.
Wow.
I wanted to see it so much, and nobody else would be interested, so I went and watched it. And it's not Watchmen because I really like Watchmen, but yeah.
Right, I sat in the cinema with my best mate, and I went, "Oh, I really loved that." And he went, "That was the biggest pile of shit I've ever seen in my life."
I had the same. I had 7 people. I talked it up so much.
Clearly, never read a comic book in that line.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the film, they all looked at me and went, "Why did that man's penis need to be on show?"
Why was it blue? Why was it blue?
There you go.
One's nonsense.
So you were talking about them being guilty pleasures. In this list of yours, do you actually own any of these movies?
Yes.
Yes.
Digitally,
I'm proud, right?
digitally and physically, yes.
I own all of them.
You own all of them. Nice. I think I do in mine actually.
And at one stage or another, I've owned them on VHS.
Oh,
Wow.
VHS.
That is how far back this.
But those go.
Yeah.
Wow.
I own 2. No, 3 technically. 1 in storage.
Where it belongs, Chris.
In a
frame.
Is it like in an arc in Area 51 or something?
I think it's just on
It's handled by top men.
I think it's been moved into the the
men.
VHS box in like the loft of my mum's room.
Oh, really?
Because DVDs have taken over and
hidden from
no one has a video recorder anymore.
It should be in a museum, Chris.
It should be.
So do you. I don't really have anything else on that one because I said quite a few questions on the first time we did this for part 1. If you're ever interested, go back to it. It's season 4, episode 6, I believe. It is on our YouTube channel, isn't it? So give that a listen. It was not a video one, unfortunately, but it is a great, great episode. If anyone's got nothing else to add, should we just go straight to the top 5s?
Let's do it.
So for anyone that hasn't followed us before, what we do before we do our top 5s is roll the little 20 die with a T-Rex built inside. Whoever has the highest wins, and we go around in clockwise order from there. You lost the streak. Let's see if you can get the streak back, sir. Speak to it, Howard. Speak to it.
15.
15.
12. 14 or 13.
You speak to it now. I think that's everyone's what everyone's going to do.
One.
Still wins. Win again.
Still wins, yeah. Still wins.
Great.
Yep.
So he's got his streak back now. Well, just for this one anyway.
Bring it on.
All right, so I guess you're going first. And so,
I guess I'm going first.
So for the folks at home, if we don't mention your movie, there is obviously millions out there. There are shitty sequels. Obviously, maybe leave us a comment below and let us know and give us some recommendations for some shitty sequels. Let's do the top fives.
It's time for a top 5. Number 5.
Go on then, Howard. Number 5, sir. Start us off, proud.
Right. So we're going to 1987. We are going to The Quest for Peace. It is Superman 4.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Superman. I love Christopher Reeve. You know, as kids, we all grew up with those
You
films.
picked 4 over 3.
Yeah.
Wow.
4
is shocking.
4 is a big pile of doggy doo-doo.
But why do you like it then?
I like it because it's got a lot of humour. It's got, I say this every season, but it's got a lot of heart for a film. Just as a kid, I really enjoyed it, and the character that they created as the bad guy.
Nuclear Man?
Nuclear Man.
Nuclear Man, yeah.
But I love the premise of how they get Nuclear Man as well.
So, Nuclear Man. Let's talk about Nuclear Man, shall we? With the world on the brink of nuclear war, Superman takes it upon himself to basically collect all of the nuclear warheads, all of the nuclear weapons together from across the states across the world, and lob them into the sun. Well, Lex Luthor gets wind of this, so he decides that he's going to plant whatever concoction of chemicals and abundant radioactive material. He's going to stick it at the centre of this ball of nuclear waste, and he creates Nuclear Man. I mean, the maths and the science behind it, so I do not understand. You don't need to understand, because as soon as Superman lobs this into the sun, this creates the bad guy.
Yep.
And the bad guy is born as an adult with the brain of a child, and he is mute. And I loved this as a kid. This for whatever reason, this really floated my boat.
Doesn't he ever like Gene Hackman's voice in this?
No,
he doesn't speak at all. No,
he does speak. He's like, he goes, destroy Superman. And he's like, later. He does talk.
I can't remember. I mean, like I said to you before the podcast, it's been a long time since I've been to a lot of these films. But yeah, I mean, other notable things. It's 88 minutes long because the studio had no faith in this film whatsoever, so they literally hacked it to bits.
I don't think I've ever seen... I've just heard you describe it. I think it's been slated that much in my own house that I've never seen Superman.
Chris, you may have watched it and then struck it from your memory.
It's like
none of that rang one bit of...
At all?
Not one bit.
The plot is paper thin. It's very low budget. I mean, Christopher Reeve had a hand in writing the story, and he basically said, I'll only do number 4 if you pay me more, and I can write a bit of the script.
It's really anti-Reaganist.
Oh yeah,
the nuclear power thing.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, at the core of it, he was telling a nice little story about the way that the world was at the time. However, it just wasn't executed very well. A few fire hydrants can turn any location into New York, Chris. This is what I've discovered. And unfortunately, the filmmakers didn't realise that it wasn't New York. It was, in fact, meant to be Metropolis. However, don't let that stop you making a bad film, all right? Clark Kent does aerobics. Yeah, that's horrifying to say the least, but as a kid, you don't know any better. And Superman cooks duck with his heat vision. And these are the most notable parts of this film.
He also takes a woman into space.
Yes.
And she still breathes in
She's still
space.
breathing. Yeah.
Because she's close to him.
Go figure.
So bad.
I'm surprised she could remember it being that close to him.
It's not even Lois either.
No, isn't it Lana Lang?
It's Lana Lang.
Lana Lang.
Yeah, the other love interest, who is from the comic books. So yeah. Lana Lang. I think she was from Smallville, wasn't she?
So she came from Smallville, yeah, but the comic book, she was in the comic books as his original love. She was later on
as baby Superman. And also a very first sort of movie appearance for John Cryer around about that time for a big blockbuster film. So he'd done a lot of the Brat Pack sort of stuff, and now John Cryer was in it as Lex Luthor's
assistant.
nephew.
Oh, nephew.
But what's interesting is that in later years he becomes
Lex Luthor.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
And the other, what's the name who plays Lana Lang, becomes Martha Kent.
God, yes, she does.
Yes, in
she does.
Smallville.
Yes, she does.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the movie that bankrupt canon
It did
is on the
bankrupt-
list.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, and
I never got He-Man 2 because of you.
and I think it bankrupt canon, and rightfully so, because it just was not very good.
No.
But I look at it upon it fondly because it's Superman, it's Christopher Reeve, and it's from that era of film where they could do no wrong. But yes, it's pony.
But brilliant.
But brilliant.
Nice. Anything more on that?
No, I can't because there is no more to say.
Okay then. Over to Mario.
You ready?
I'm ready.
It's going to begin. I have a penchant for dance movies.
Oh shit.
Ever since
Oh my god.
Breakdance 2, Electric Boogaloo, I fucking love a dance film. especially when they're like stomp the big stomp the yard. I can go for it. This one is the third in the series. It went to 3D. And it's from 2010.
Oh,
and
it's not
Step Up 3D.
No, my
I
God.
fucking love this film. And this is the one I took myself to the cinema.
Is that the
to
one
watch.
on your own?
I
Wow.
fucking love these
I never
films.
knew you were a dance
I
fan.
love Step Up. I love Step Up 2. I love Step Up 3D. I've
Honey?
not watched I loved Honey.
Yeah?
Fuck, it was
Had a
brilliant.
good soundtrack,
Yeah,
man.
Jess Crowber.
Save the Last Dance?
Save the Last Dance, of course, with Jennifer. No,
I
it
remember
wasn't.
it. No, it's no. It's. But she was in 10 Things I Hate About You.
She was, yes. She recently came out saying she didn't like that film either.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
It's not to do with Heath, right?
No, it was to do with dancing, apparently.
Oh.
But anyway, yes, Step Up 3D. So, as with every dance film ever created, this one is a new kid at school. Parents have made him do engineering, and he's discovered that there is more to the world than just engineering. He challenges a guy in the street to a dance battle and wins, and the crowd love him.
How do you win a dance battle?
And it
I
turns
never
out-
get it.
You've got to see it. You've got to see it.
No,
to
I get
believe
it, but
He's
you
in
don't beat anyone up or
he's
anything.
in Central Park. They're betting on who's going to be the better dancer, right? And
But who decides
wait,
that?
The dance crew is called the Samurais. It's fucking immense.
For
Like,
fuck's
you've got to go
sake.
down this. He turns up. They're all putting money on it. He gets knocked forward into the ring accidentally, and everyone starts putting money on him. And sure enough, he beats it. And it's this fantastic little sequence of him scooting along, crawling over the floor. All the things your mum told you, get up off the floor, don't do that, you'll get dirty. He's doing it, and he goes up onto a bench and he does some breakdancing, some locking, some popping. And also there's some guy with a bubble machine, don't know where the fuck it's coming from. And it finishes the entire sequence with a 3-dimensional bubble come towards you, and he comes towards it and pops it.
How was the 3D on that?
It's fucking shit. But I don't care. I've watched it out in 3D. I've watched it out of 3D. I still like this film.
Yeah?
The music in it, and before Magic Mike, it's got that rain sequence, the water sequence at the very last one, droplets falling down.
So it done it
slow
before
motion.
Magic Mike?
Did it before Magic Mike. And also Channing is also related to the Step Up films because he's in 1 and 2.
Oh, okay.
Which is how you know that he can dance, because in the first one the film's all about him. In the second one he's just kind of like the mentor and pushes the man
The bubble.
into the bubble. But it's such a teenage angsty sort of film, because there's the love interest who's not really a love interest. She likes the guy, it's unrequited, but by the end of the film she's won him over.
Yeah.
You've got the nerd, essentially the engineering guy, who realizes that he can't carry on doing dance and engineering. He's got to have something, so he tells his parents his passion is dance. They come and see him at the end dancing, and it's like, you follow your passion, go to Juilliard, do your thing. And the whole thing is all about this dance cruise and how they're dancing off against each other. And the budget on this, like the amount of neon lights and flashing bulbs they must have gone through to get some of these shots.
I'm thinking people have epileptic fits or something during this.
So good. But we'll watch some of the dance crews on stuff like Britain's Got Talent and that. And this kind of shows that where their inspirations come from, like these sort of films. This one, it's not the best one out of the lot, but I still love it. It's fantastic. It's got everything you need, romance. It's got the underdog story, and it's also got a banging soundtrack. and all the kids just dancing around to it. By the end of the film, you're there going, I could do that if I'd trained.
Do you know what? I'm picturing so many blokes are going to comment on this video.
I don't care.
I'm all for Step Up 3. I'm all for Step Up.
Step Up 3D, 2010. I'm in.
Nice.
All the way. There we go.
Nice.
Wow.
Chris, number 5, sir.
Okay, so we are going back to 1996, and it's the only one that's sort of from my childhood. It's a kids animation movie, and it's the number 3 in the series, and we're going to Agrabah. Aladdin, King of Thieves.
Oh, Christ.
Now, to me,
Not Return of Jafar.
such a pony.
Was there a number 3?
No, yeah, see, no one talks about it because it's great.
Sorry.
Yeah, see, number 3, you get the return of Robin Williams, but at the time, when you're younger, you don't really know who Robin.
Yeah, because the guy who voiced Homer did the sequel for.
So when it came out, I didn't.
Return of Jafar.
You don't really hear. You only notice it when you go back and watch it when you're older. You kind of hear the Robin Williams take on Genie. You know, it's really good. So this one is what's it? Aladdin and Prince Jasmine are getting married, and everybody's turning up. It's a big shindig.
Didn't they marry at the end of the first one? Am I confused?
No, they
No, they
did
did.
it together.
Okay.
He said that you're
Living in
worthy
sin.
enough.
Right.
Looking after a tiger.
Yeah, got done. So then everybody's turned up. There's loads of presents, but then there is a secret present, which the King of Thieves, the 40 thieves, all want to turn up, and they all turn up like acrobatic ninjas, and all hell breaks loose, and it's brilliant. And they find out that they're after a oracle, which is like a hand opens up this oracle and it tells them exactly where they're going to be. Iago gets screwed and loses his one free wish to ask him what she does. He goes, I can tell you anything you want to know, but you only get one question only. And he goes, you've had yours. He's like, no!
Are you really head of the Quickie Mart? Really? You?
So yeah, it turns out to be that you can find out like an ultimate treasure, or he ends up trying to find his dad. His dad's alive. He ends up, spoiler alert, being the King of Thieves.
Dun dun dun.
Who knew?
So he has to save him. Ends up having a big fight with his dad. He doesn't realise it. Oh, it's brilliant. But it's Genie's comedy. Because after it all gets spoiled, they're going to do another wedding. And then Genie's on high alert. And there's hundreds of genies. Full SWAT. Jumping out of planes, parachuting, going, Geronimo! Laying out. This is why they're guilty pleasures.
You don't have to justify it to me.
We just had to step up.
Yeah.
And now we're going back to Agrabah to find the ultimate treasure, which happens to be the Hand of Midas, which then turns everything gold. He has to go on a full adventure where he has to find himself. The dad has to find his son. And then he has to make the ultimate choice. Does he save Aladdin? Does he get the treasure? And I won't tell you which one he chooses.
Are you going to have to?
It's
It's never going to be on Disney Plus.
That will be a question never answered.
The Hand of Midas.
Comment below, let us know.
The Hand of Midas touches his cloak. It turns it to gold, and he has to drop it. And then he drops everything else. The lost city of Atlantis just turns to one giant gold turtle, and they have to fly out of there.
What the fuck?
Brilliant. Check it out.
Genius.
Aladdin King of Thieves, number 5.
3.
Oh, sorry,
Number
3.
This is one that I put on for Jax, and he wasn't paying attention.
Pay attention, there's 1,000 genies in
There's
this.
1,000 genies.
One of these days I might pick you or the treasure.
This week you do.
Normally,
My dilemma.
Normally, like, Disney at that point is kind of like the third one. Just so
The one that
bothered.
no one talks about.
And this is the only third one straight to video. That's how old school it is.
Return of Jafar went straight to video, didn't it?
It did.
Probably.
Yeah.
Straight in the bin.
Do you hate it that much?
No. But to be fair, Disney I've got a soft spot for that sort of Disney animation. That
Dude, I was pumped when they found out about it.
I kind of hope. Yeah, I still love it, but I just think no one knows how
about
much I
King
love.
of Thieves.
Yeah.
No one's mentioned King of Thieves and all of the M.T.V.B.
Now I kind of want to watch it now. Disney Plus, put it on so
Disney
I can watch
Plus.
it. I want to find out who he chooses.
Who he chooses.
It being Disney, I bet he picks the treasure.
Yeah, just normally.
Picks the tiger.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I haven't seen the
Russia.
Fox and the Hound too, so I can't.
Fox and that.
But I'm kind of hoping at some point the cycle comes back, and Disney go, do you know what? We're going to make a new cartoon, but in that old school.
The live action run.
The live action
You've got
version.
Will Smith playing the
1,000
genie
Will
for-
Smiths.
Oh,
All slapping Chris Rock.
in 3D.
The bubbles coming forward.
yeah.
Anything else on King of Thieves?
No, just watch it. Watch it with.
Watch it to find out the answer, folks.
Just don't get caught watching it on your own because you got no defense.
My number 5, then. We're going to go to Elm Street. And we're going to go with the gayest sequel in Freddy history, which is Nightmare 2: Freddy's Revenge. That's not the reason why I like it, by the way. This was weird because I was like really, obviously we all know I'm hot into Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street and stuff. And when I watched the sequel, I was really hoping like to get the return of Nancy, Johnny Depp, although not Johnny Depp because he died last month, but
Bit dead.
yeah, he's a bit dead. And the answer to the ending of the first movie, like was it all a dream in the end of the day, or was it actually real? But we never got that at all. We got a completely different story. Nancy or Heather Langenkamp's not even in this movie at all. She's completely gone. Basically, the first one done so well, they wanted a sequel out and ready for the next year. I think it was like less than a year the second one came out. So when they done it, they just come up with this completely random story that a new person has moved into Nancy's home, where all the incidents happened first in the first movie, and it's from a new kid, and it's a new perspective of that he is not really attacking his dreams. He's sort of trying to possess this kid at the same time. And I watched this documentary called Never Sleep Again back in 2010, and it's this fantastic 4-hour documentary about all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, and it all goes into depth on how they made it and all that. And then it pointed out all the parts of how gay this movie is and all and how all the innuendos and all the messages are all there. Like, for example, he has a board game called Probe behind him, and he dances to "Hold Me, Baby, Drive Me." Remember that song?
Yeah.
That one dances to that very sexually. There's lines in the movie where something's trying to get inside of me, and his friend who's around his house is go, "And you want to sleep with me?" You know, all these little things which you never even thought of when you were a kid watching it, but then you see it now and you can't unsee it. And there's all these other little things like for example, Robert Englund wasn't even in the movie for the first half of it. But they actually got a stunt double,
Right.
which again you don't realise when you first watch it, but when you watch it now, he's very wooden and walks like this, and it's just very weird. And then obviously, then you know when Robert Englund comes into it, he delivers the fuck out of it. Like but his son, I think he's even got one of his best lines in the entire Freddy series in this shitty sequel, and it's like, "You're all my children now," and he's got the flame effect behind him, and he kills those kids at the pool party, and some brilliant one-liners as well. He's like, there's this kid trying to calm him down. It's like, "Come, let's talk about this." It's like, I want to help you. And then Robert Englund comes into line like, "Help yourself, fucker!" He just stabs him. Oh my god, it's so fun. It's one of those sequels that I just thought was so bad at the time that I just love even more now the more I watch it.
But do you love it because it's bad?
I don't think it was. I watched
I like
1 and 3, and then 2,
then back to 2.
2. But then the age I was, anything with like the Freddy name, I didn't know it was shit.
Yeah.
It was just, I just saw killing.
It had Freddy Krueger in it. It was a horror.
It was
You
horror.
watch it, yeah.
I probably shouldn't be watching it,
Yeah.
you know, and it was like, it was either you always borrowed a video off your mate or you managed to get one, you know, they were just easily to come by, even though they shouldn't have been, you know.
And so, and this sequel has some of the best practical effects in it in the series as well. Like the part when Freddy literally comes out of Jesse and what's the other bit? Because Freddy's claw, he doesn't have the glove in this movie. If you've ever noticed it, it's all through his fingers, the knives and stuff. And there is some really good stuff in there, like some good camera shots. It's well directed in some bits, but it's still delivered so cheesy that it's that bad sequel.
There was a scene in that I found it quite disturbing where the dogs had to face a baby.
That's it, yeah. It's very quick, but there's no reason for it.
No.
Absolutely no reason. I mean, the movie's called Freddy's Revenge. Who's he getting revenge on?
The lieutenants.
The lieutenant, yeah. Poor Jesse. So the reason I like it is because is a little bit more different than the typical first movie. And then when the third one came out, it went back to its roots with Heather, back to the dreams. Well, there are dream sequences in this movie, but they're obviously not as effective as the other ones. So I do have a soft spot for this one. The more I watch it now, I think the worst ones in the Freddy series now were 5 and 6.
So those are the ones that I saw later.
Yeah, so
really late.
5 is when he has the child.
Freddy's Revenge was the 3D one. That was meant.
No, that's Freddy's Dead.
Freddy's
That's
Dead.
6. Yeah,
6.
6. So yeah, because those movies were great for me then, but now that I've gotten older, I've realised no, they're actually shit. And the second one was actually much better than those ones.
The Shark. Was that 4?
The Shark? Yes, that's number 4, yeah. When he uses the glove for the fin, yeah. But yeah, can't go any more into that. Freddy's Revenge, Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 is my number 5.
Good.
Let's go to the number 4s.
Number 4.
Howard, number 4, sir.
Number 4. Okay, let's go to 1992, and we're going to hit Alien 3.
Oh, so that was in my number 5 in the first Part 1 episode.
I mean, to be fair, it's between this and Resurrection.
I was close to putting Resurrection on this list.
So when you know, like with Superman 4, you say, oh, why not Superman 3? It's the same with this one, Alien 3, Resurrection. I don't know. I'm fonder for Alien 3 because it was a return to the franchise that I fell in love with, as I think we all did. I mean, you know, and you're one of the biggest Aliens fans on the planet. Yeah, so I think why I like it, and obviously everybody else hates it, is because it's delivering a promise that never happened, or vice versa. You know, the promise that Newt and oh God, what's Michael Bihn's character?
I don't know. I keep
Hicks.
Yeah. So Newt, Hicks, and Ripley were all going to live happily ever after with the android, and no, of course they don't, because they crash land
What
on.
a slobber knocker for a starter, right?
What a slobber knocker! Yeah, they crash land on Fury 161.
They do.
They do, which of course is a penal colony,
Yep.
and
Penal. Such a child.
Pedo colony.
Where do I go from that? Penis colony. So, yeah, and obviously Hicks and Newt die, and it's very quickly discovered that a face hugger survived. Although we never really see where the egg actually materialises from, where the face hugger comes from, but the face hugger was there.
Go with it.
So, Ripley's accepted into the penal colony, Chris, and she starts ordering autopsies. She wants the bodies burned. Yeah, she's lost her new family. However, she needs to protect herself and everybody else around her. So, stop.
I just love that moment because Ripley is such a great, and she's at her lowest.
She is.
But there's something in her head that says this isn't right. What has caused this?
Yeah. And it's Ron Perlman as well, isn't it?
No, that's 4.
No, that's 4.
in 4.
He's in number
That's
4.
four.
Yeah.
Okay, carry on.
So yeah, the face hugger makes its way off the pod. It gets into the colony and finds its way to a dog.
In the original version,
In the original
director's cut as
version.
a cow.
The
Yes.
director's cut as a cow. Yeah.
Because there was a series of toys they brought out at the time.
Yes.
And one of them was a cow alien, there was a horse alien, there was a monkey alien,
Yeah.
there was all sorts, yeah.
There was
Can you
so
imagine
many.
monkey aliens?
Because we're talking about the one from 1992, the one I saw. So yeah, of course,
So,
finds,
yeah.
finds its way to a dog, later on a cow. But yeah, we get the dog alien, or the bipedal alien. And I thought it was a great invention, and it was different to what we'd seen before. Chaos and mayhem ensues, really. But it's a very good It plays out like you've gone to the theatre to watch this show because a lot of the characters were very talented actors. I mean, who have we got? Let's just take a look. So we've got
loads of British cast, wasn't there?
Charles Dance, Brian Glover, Ralph Brown, Paul McGann, and obviously Lance Henriksen. I mean, I could go on with a few of the others, but yeah, the ensemble cast that you get, and it's very believable. It just wasn't what had been delivered before. It wasn't Aliens, and unfortunately, that's what people were expecting. They wanted Aliens 2.
They wanted the sequel again.
More chaos, more
guns, more Marines. Yeah,
and it was kind of advertised as like 3 times the terror, 3 times the suspense, 3 times the action.
Yeah, it was 3 times waiting for it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
unfortunately, it was -3. But saying that, yeah, it's on my list because I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. It took you back to the claustrophobic first instalment on the Nostromo, and that was great. And bloody gory.
No, it is. Yeah, it's definitely a lot gorier than the first one. Anyway,
and I think above everything, we always go back to this iconic image of Ripley with the side of her face turned, and she's in absolute fear, and this thing is just looking directly at her with the acid drool dripping off its mouth. That's why I think it's a great sequel, because it came up with some quite inventive ideas, and also it's the first time that Weyland-Yutani is mentioned on screen. In neither of the 2 previous films, not verbally. So we actually get all of the corporations that exist within this universe.
It's known as the company, isn't it?
The company. We get Weyland-Yutani, because obviously originally I think it was this Weyland, wasn't it?
It was on the ship or little bits.
Yeah, that's right.
Just merch.
Yeah, on the merch. Yeah. I still want one of those baseball caps. It asked a lot of questions that never got answered, and obviously we got Resurrection, which was a bigger pile of dog shit. But I stand by this film. Come at me.
I love it. I'm not complaining. I love.
No, the Alien as a franchise is brilliant, but yeah, Resurrection just wasn't as good as the first 3. It took a whole year to edit this film because, again, it's just one of those sequels where people were losing faith in it. And then people.
Then producers got in the way.
Well, the director didn't want to attach his name to it. He said it was a big pile of doggy doo. But yeah, what was interesting though is that Clive Barker and Ridley Scott were both on to direct this film. Obviously, it never quite happened. So, what would we have got if we'd have seen that from those 2 directors? I just think it was really, really good.
It was cool.
So I'll ask you something. So one of the taglines for this movie was "The bitch is back."
Yes.
Who's the bitch?
Well, it must be Ripley.
Is that what you're going with?
Well, I think so. It has to be because
is it there is a queen somewhere, because that's where the egg came.
Because she calls her the bitch, right?
Yeah. At the end.
So technically, the queen's the bitch.
So does that make that all xenomorphs are all female?
No, because you only get one queen. They're a hive.
It's like a hive, like Hudson says in
drone. Yeah, you have drones.
And
then you've got the queen.
Right.
This summer, the bitch is back.
What a bit.
Interesting. I agree with that. Pixar, I concur.
Good. Excellent. Thought you might.
Nice. Mario, number 4 then.
Okay. You ready for this one?
I'm ready.
Step up.
So, no, it's not Step Up 2. It's Step Up 4. No, it's not. This one is an early Jason Bateman film from 1987.
Yes.
It was originally had Michael J. Fox in the lead role, doing backflips on top of a green van driving through the city, through the little town. And it is Teen Wolf 2. Not Teen Wolf 2.
T-O-O?
T-O-O.
Yeah.
So, Michael J. Fox's cousin comes to the town to go to the university where Michael J. Fox was a basketball major. He's now going to be a boxing scholarship, only he has no idea about boxing. He's a skinny little dweeb that wants to become a vet. And so Jason Bateman's character discovers that he too is a werewolf and becomes a boxing champ. And through the entire film, you see the evolution of him being this nobody to being a smug, arrogant prick, and then coming all the way back again with the help of his uncle. And it is...
Which was Michael J. Fox's dad in those.
Yep. Yeah. And it's the exact same film as the first one, but with a cousin involved. There is a love interest. There is a werewolf. School bully.
There's the match at the end.
There is the match at the end. There is the singing sequence where they do the karaoke on stage.
Of course there is, yes.
Yeah. This film is phenomenal. Like, I don't care what anyone says. Teen Wolf 2 Jason Bateman looking really young. Like, he's not even... so I watched episodes of Buffy where he just appears in it. And I was like, oh, he's quite young in that. But no, this is like proper.
Yeah.
Almost pre.
I always forget it's Jason Bateman.
Yeah. So did I until I started looking up. And then I went back and looked at the trailer and was like, holy shit. There's a 12-year-old Jason Bateman.
Wow.
And the film is just...
They could have carried on with, like, every sequel could have been like a new sport.
So the idea
hockey or
was,
something, whatever.
So the idea was supposed to be a franchise. There was supposed to be a franchise of Teen Wolf. And there was loads of merchandise and stuff. But, of course, because Michael J. Fox wasn't in it, and he was off doing Back to the Future, nobody cared.
However, there was a cartoon
series.
I was going to say, was
Saturday mornings, and he wore the same outfit in that cartoon that Michael J. Fox wears in the film, which was the yellow and blue Letterman jacket with yellow jeans and then no shoes and he's a werewolf. And there's so much merchandise for this thing as well. But Teen Wolf 2 is just such a great fucking romp.
Representing for Teen Wolf 2.
100% all the time. Any werewolf film, to be perfectly frank.
Yeah, too right.
Especially if it's just this light-hearted as well. Yeah, I mean, this makes fun of the whole thing.
It was still 80s, wasn't it, you said?
Yeah, 87, this one. So, yeah, you kind of, 2 years after...
Because the original was 85.
85, same year as Back to the Future. Yeah. Fantastic film.
It's not. It doesn't have the "We're in the end." It's only the first one, wasn't it?
It's only the first one. This one does have like the montage sequence of the boxing.
I forget the soundtrack to this one.
It's forgettable. It really is forgettable. It's like Frankie Goes to Hollywood over and over again. But it's still a fantastic film, fantastic romp. And if you watch the first one and you really liked it, you'll watch this one and you'll like it just as much because it's the same film. Just
nice.
Boxing, not basketball.
I remember that one being on BBC all the time.
Yeah.
All the time, that one. Nice pick, though, mate.
Thank you.
Chris, which Disney film was it now?
No, it wasn't. It was.
All in?
Yeah, no. I had this one on my list, and then I did my research, and then I realised, no, this is shit. I didn't actually like it. And that was going to be The Never-Ending Story Part 2.
Oh, get out!
I went to it, and I thought everything that I liked about the first was, which is in, none of it was in it. I was like, no, this one's shit. So I took that one out, and I've gone for. Don't look at me like that. For a film that was spawned from a trailer in a film, and it was out of Grindhouse, and he gets the women.
Oh, was it Machete?
Machete Kills in 2013.
Ah, nice.
See, this is the one that I watch with my mate. We normally, like, every Tarantino film, we'll go to the cinema and we'll watch it. And then we were watching this one and we're like, oh, that looks awesome. And obviously, Machete came out, ticked all the boxes that you needed for an action movie for when you know what you're getting. And then this one just steps it up to crazy levels.
Isn't the opening sequence him with a naked woman and the phone rings or something? And she's hidden it inside herself.
Yeah, and then and then he just ends up killing everybody, beheading everybody. Yeah. Jessica Alba from the heroine from the first film gets just shot in the head. And then he basically has to spend the movie to stop a Mexican or a cartel sort of freedom fighter who's
generic cartel,
who started a nuclear bomb, set it off, but the launch thing is connected to his heart. So he has to.
Of course it is.
Of course it does. So he has to go and find the bomb maker, which turns out to be Mel Gibson. But the great thing about this movie is the cameos. Like, you got Charlie Sheen. I think it was just before he was going up. Well, just before it went public, you could see him.
Hang on. What do you mean just before?
And his name is Carlos Estevez. Now,
which is the family name is Estevez.
His brothers. Yeah. And then he has to go and find the madman who's lost his mind, who's done the bomb making, who turns out to be Mel Gibson.
Oh, amazing.
See, this one's only on my list because they haven't made Machete in space. Which is the trailer as soon as the film opens on this one, and you're like, yes.
Machete.
Machete don't text.
Brilliant.
And this one's just, it's over the top. But if you don't like that sort of humour, you could go, this film is the shittest film of all time. Or you could go,
It's the greatest film.
Greatest one.
It's
Danny
the sort of
Trejo.
comedy version of like Rambo 4, that sort of violence, you know, like how it's so brutal.
But Chris, I think like any film on these lists, did you enjoy it?
I loved it.
Then it's a great film.
That's why I'm waiting for Machete.
You got Spy Kids. That was close enough.
Oh God.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
No, there was another guy on my who was in space. He's on an honourable mention.
Anything else on Machete Kills?
Watch it for a good comedy laugh. It's just funny. It just doesn't try to be anything other than what it is.
It's
which is
deadly.
Deadly, yeah.
Like Machete.
Was that Robert Rodriguez?
It was Robert
He
Rodriguez.
did it.
and
Your
his
favourite
cousin-
director?
And his cousin, Danny Trejo.
Yeah.
Is it his actual cousin?
It's his actual
I
cousin.
thought you were like
That's,
mucking around.
no, that's why he's in every
right, it
film.
makes sense.
And that's why he was in Spy Kids.
Yeah, he's
plays
a
the nanny.
Nanny, that's it. I always forget if he's the butler or the nanny, but yeah.
I just love how
Yeah.
he was always Mexican thug, and then he became this big, massive star.
Yeah.
When I was talking about the cameos, Machete is hunted by El Comedian, who is 4 people. Lady Gaga,
Yes.
Walter Goggins, Cuba Gooding Jr., and Antonio Banderas.
Fuck, seriously.
Amazing.
4 people, and every time he turns up and he's like... it's just cameo after cameo. It's brilliant.
My number 4 is a number 4 in a film franchise.
Ooh.
And it's one of the biggest summer hits of 2006. Or was it 2001 and 2? Mine is Die Hard 4, Live Free, Die Hard. I love this movie. Represent for John.
Honourable
Because
mention
he
for
loves... It's... I love all the Die Hard films in today. I mean, 4 and 5 aren't the greatest, but I do love 4. There is something about it that it just got panned full stop because it was another Die Hard film straight off the bat with a very old Bruce Willis. But I sat in the cinema on my own and I sat there and watched what's wrong with this. It affects everything today that runs on computers. So it could be like, you know, because the whole film is about being...
Hacked, essentially.
Hacker terrorist. It calls it a fire cell or something like that in the movie.
Fire cells are basically,
Yeah.
they break in and then they will give every bit of information.
Yeah.
Shut down everything.
Everything, yeah.
This was the first time, like, John McClane has... No, it's technically the second time because he had one in 2 years. He has like a little sidekick as Justin Long, which is he's a great actor. I love when he's in his Kevin Smith stuff.
Yeah.
Funny enough, Kevin Smith pops up in this movie as well.
The Warlock.
Good director as well, Len Wiseman. He was, at the time when this film was being made, he was announced he was going to make the Gears of War film.
Oh, wow.
And Gears of War pops up a couple of times in this movie, so I thought, oh, here we go, it's a nice little nod, we can't wait. It never happens.
Yeah.
But the action in this is good. The cheesy one-liners are great in this. The director's cut of this is way better. It got released on DVD, the director's cut. It's never got a Blu-ray release, but the director's cut is... Because this was obviously Die Hard for 12-year-olds now. This was the first 12A Die Hard film, wasn't it? And they obviously toned down the violence, the bad language, which is what Die Hard is, isn't it?
But I didn't notice this as much as I did when they did Terminator 3.
Yes.
You know, like...
Terminator 3 still gets away with a lot.
I know,
for
but
12.
The 12 in Die Hard, I think it worked better than
back
it.
a lot more.
Yeah.
It could get away with the action being a bit more over the top. Whereas I was like, I keep forgetting it's a 12. Yeah, totally
honestly, and then it obviously represents his older characters. So Lucy McClane's in it, and she's obviously all grown up and stuff. Still no Holly. Holly never comes back, really, does she?
No.
But she's
in prison for hitting.
And then obviously Timmy Ollie Fantastic as the bad guy. Anything with him is so good. And it's just, like I said, I love the action in it. And then people can go mental when John McClane is on the jet. I mean, it's okay. He can go on a massive tanker that's got water coming out of it, but we're not fine with him being on the back of a jet.
It's a bit with the helicopter as well, where they
he shoots this car into the air. It's so good. Great piece of action. There's this wicked scene where he's being chased by the bad guys, and they know he's gone in the tunnel. So what they do is they hack the tunnel and they turn all the lights off. But the way he does it, the shot goes boom, 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 and it's quite terrifying. The way Bruce Willis looks at it, the camera, and he knows like shit, we're going to get rammed into because no one can see shit in this thing. It's so there's this wicked part as well where a car flips and they obviously dive down between two cars and it comes. It's just utter popcorn action that I love. It's what I go to the movies for. The end of the day, just cheese, full on action. But now audiences now are just just too picky with it now. Like, he would never do that. He wouldn't do half the shit in the first movie.
It's not realistic,
exactly. But tell the rest of these guys they want the most. They want the Jason Bournes and stuff at the time or not. But again, it's younger audiences that didn't know who John McClane was at the time, so they were targeting the wrong audience, in my opinion. But I just absolutely love this, and I do like 5 as well. Obviously, not as good as 4, but 4 is doesn't get as good a mark as it does.
Might have a little something to say later.
Oh, first clash of the night. Apologies, mate. Sorry.
No, that's why I'm just keeping it.
But no, I love Die Hard. Die Hard 4 has to be mentioned on there. I think John had the 5th one in his list on the first episode. But yeah, definitely Die Hard 4. Let's go to number 3s.
Number 3.
Back to you, Howard. Number 3, sir.
Number 3, we're going to go to 1997 for Jurassic Park: The Lost World.
Yeah, this was Big Gal's number 1.
Oh, was it number 1?
It was, yeah.
It's not as bad as everybody says.
No, I'll be honest. It was one I was like livid with the first time I watched it. I think we all wanted the first one again.
Yeah, and that's often the problem. And this was the direct sequel to one of the biggest films ever made, your favourite film of all time. And you completely understand why.
Pete was awesome, though.
Who?
Pete Postlethwaite.
Oh, Pete Postlethwaite, yeah.
What movie is that guy not great in?
I know. So like when he turned up as a hunter, I was like.
Even when he plays an Indian in Usual Suspects, he still nails it.
Forgot he was in that. The premise is a research team is sent to Jurassic Park B-sites. So it's Isla Sorna?
Isn't it?
Yes, Isla Sorna.
Yeah, because Isla Nublar is the
Isla
one.
Nublar is the other one.
To study dinosaurs whilst an evil InGen team is hot on their heels in order to sort of capture up these extra dinosaurs that have materialised out of nowhere. So obviously we've got this new island where dinosaurs have been bred. It is the B site, but technically it's the A site. For the monsters, the dinosaurs that we saw in the original film. I mean, I don't really think that it should get the stick that it does. It was written by Crichton as a novel off the back of the success of the film.
Yeah.
So they said, basically, we need a sequel, and he wrote this book. And the film that they delivered wasn't quite the book. So I think if they probably stuck a little bit closer to the novel, we might have got a more critically acclaimed film.
What year did it come out?
97.
97. See, so to me, again, I was easily swayed. It didn't become... I loved it when you went to the cinema. And I walked out of it. It's not until you...
I don't know.
But then I've never really hated this one. The same way I've never hated the third one. I have more issues with the newer ones than this one.
I felt there was something missing from the second one. I couldn't put my finger on it, which is why it disappointed me. And it wasn't because I was expecting the first one again, because that would have just been Teen Wolf 2. I was expecting something more, and I think the pterodactyl or the whatever they are.
That's awesome. But
pterosaur thing just didn't really kind of sit with me.
The snake scene with the Merc, with the whole scene with the baby Tyrannosaurus.
Yeah, and with the caravan
when
thing.
He's snaking around.
Yeah.
That is awesome. The whole Dino Riders with the heads and they're coming off. Oh, it's just brilliant.
And when I absolutely loved it when you didn't just have one T-Rex. You had
Mum and Dad.
Mum and Dad.
Mum and Dad looking after the baby, because the baby's just sort of crawled up and sitting there, and they were looking after it. And you think, oh fuck, what's going to happen? Yeah, absolute kind of tension that you deserve from a scene like that. And I think that's probably the best scene of the film. And then obviously we go back to the city, and the T-Rex is loose in the city. I mean, quite how? And I've never... Please answer this if you can, but...
How he gets the boat?
The T-Rex is locked in the hold. How is the rest of the crew dead.
InGen. It's always InGen.
Which is
They're like Umbrella of the dinosaur world.
just
And there's
InGen.
literally like a severed hand holding the lever down that's pulled the thing.
I don't. It's
How has he eaten them and then they've gone, all right, I'll go back in. And then
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't.
It's all right. I got
Yeah.
But from that bit, that is the only bit where then people start to go, it's a shit movie.
Yeah, when he gets to San Diego, that's when he gets crap. Because the rest of it is actually really
Brilliant.
good. Yeah.
And that is enough of the film. It's not like most of it is in San Diego. Most of it is that bit.
I mean, yeah, it's dinosaurs, and yes, it's unbelievable. I think the bit in the city, yeah, you can kind of gloss
I think
over.
Godzilla owns the city. That was my issue.
Well, it's very interesting because I made a note that there's a fleeing Japanese businessman at one point who in Japanese says, I moved from Tokyo to get away from all of this. And I thought that's brilliant because there's a reference to that. And the name of the ship is the SS Venture, which was the name of the ship that brought King Kong from Skull Island.
As I say, it's a very King Kong thing, isn't it?
Yeah, and I love that. So they're kind of sort of giving a nod to those two creature features. But also, the Conan Doyle's original story of The Lost World, when they turned it into a film in the very, very early turn of the 20th century, there's a little scene where the dinosaur that's been brought to the city, I think it was London at the time, wasn't it? It falls against the building. They're homaging different types of stories there. So I think that the intent was in the right place for this film. It just didn't quite pull it off. But it's got Jeff Goldblum in it. And I just think Jeff Goldblum turns everything to gold.
Is it Clarice? Juliet Moore?
With Clarice, yeah, indeed, yeah. And
the worst female character.
Well, I mean, originally
I cannot stand her in this film.
Originally, I thought, what an annoying bitch, and then at the end of the film, I just think, oh, well, she's not as bad on reflection because I went back and watched it recently for this podcast, and I just think, yeah, she's not that bad, but yeah,
no, she is bad.
I'm inclined to agree. She's just
her and his daughter in this movie just infuriates me.
She's an obnoxious prick.
Yeah. Like everything he tells her not to do, she still does regardless. Yeah. It's just there's literally like she's on the glass that's going to break in there. Don't move. Ooh,
she's been great turns.
It is,
yeah, and like you say, it's Pete Postlethwaite at one of his best, and Vince Vaughn. So I think it was his second feature film, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, he was the guy who worked for Greenpeace, wasn't he?
He was. Yeah. I mean, that didn't quite wash.
Is he the one? No, that's 3. I'm getting mixed up now. He just takes the.
He takes the eggs.
No, he takes the dinosaur, doesn't he, Vince?
Oh, Vince takes the eggs.
He's a broken leg.
They steal the.
The eggs, yeah.
That's right, yeah. But yeah, this one, he takes the dinosaur, and that's obviously that kicks off that whole scene. But yeah, I think that there's elements where if you tie it all together, you just think it doesn't quite tie up.
This is the raptors in the. Stay out of the long grass.
Yeah, and that's a really good scene when everybody's just.
You see the lines.
Yeah.
Fucked.
It's good for reasons. It's bad for reasons.
I think people wanted Sam Neill back. They wanted
Laura Dern.
But all we got was. But in the book, it is just Malcolm, isn't it? So it makes sense.
Yeah, and Goldblum carries it. You know, he carries it, and I think he does it very, very well.
He's got some great one-liners.
Of course, he has.
Like, I'll be back in 5 or 6 days. No, you'll be back in 5 or 6 pieces. But there's a part that infuriates me. There's a part where the van's going to go over the thing, the action set piece of the movie. And Vince Vaughn shouts, "Hang on to something!" Oh. What does he say straight after? "Hang on to something!" Yeah. It's like, was it not good enough with Vince doing it?
My feeling behind that is that they'd filmed it with one actor, and then they've gone, "Oh, let's see what it's like with the other one." With the other one saying it, and it's ended up as both characters saying the same thing.
But what makes me laugh though is that there's a part where he's about to call for help. He uses the radio, doesn't he? He's like, "Oh, come in, goddammit," whatever. But then there's a part he stops. He's like, laughs, he stops, and he sees something, and he stands up, and then the light goes onto his eyes. He's like, "Hang on, this is going to be bad." Wouldn't you just be like holding on to somebody going, "This is going to be bad," and then obviously gets flipped over. But he delivers as always.
The anticipation and like, when they're up in the high, and you can see and you know what.
And you hear the T-Rex roar.
You're coming. You're like, "Oh, it's coming." And then when you finally hit, I think
it's brilliantly done.
That T-Rex sound for me is one of the greatest.
It's iconic.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it sounds like that, but that's how I want it to sound. That sounds so scary, and it's just
It's just the way he he's like, oh no, we're high-hide, and we're in a completely different situation, and then you hear. And I was like, yes!
Yeah.
Delivered so well.
Yeah, I just remember kind of being like at the cinema, like,
yeah. You get the goosebumps from.
I think we're all of an age where we all saw it as a kid. It came out when we were children, and that sound, as soon as you hear that,
fourth showing at the cinema,
it was hyped, like from the first, because you don't realise how huge the first one was.
Yeah,
was
totally.
I think you were still getting like McDonald's stuff like a year and a half.
Yeah. Dude,
it was like 2 years before
I think
films
Lost
come
World
out
was
on
out,
videos, wasn't
like,
it, back
it
in the day?
merged more than the first one ever did. And then with the tagline that something has survived, it was just everywhere. You couldn't get past 97 without seeing anything to do with Lost World.
Those big
arcade games, PlayStation 1
the
games,
dinosaur cups,
McDonald's.
Yeah, Burger King as well.
Yeah, that's it.
Everyone did
Loads,
something.
mate. But yeah. Your number 3 was Gal's number 1. I concur.
Well, let's wait and see what my number 1 is.
Intrigued. Go on then, Mario. Number 3, mate.
Number 3 is a number 2.
And this is a real number 2?
Okay.
It is Iron Man 2.
I took this out on the list. This was on my list.
Honourable mention.
I like this film. I know a lot of people don't like this film.
I do like this movie.
I don't think it's as bad as Thor 2. I really like it. It introduces War Machine, which I was waiting for in Iron Man. As soon as they brought in Rhodey, I was like waiting for it. Oh, it's gonna be War Machine.
Yeah, because it's hinted in the first one, isn't it?
Yes,
but he looks at it and goes, "Nah, next time" or something, doesn't he?
Yeah. What are you going to call it? Some sort of war machine?
Yeah.
And then of course, the second one it comes through.
Next time.
You get a dance sequence as well, Sam Rockwell.
Oh, you love a dance.
I love Sam Rockwell's
Every
movie.
fucking film he does,
needs to come back in the MCU, Justin Hammer.
Well, as a character, Justin Hammer was in the What If TV series.
Yeah.
But he does need to come back in this series.
He was great in that.
And I think he'd make a great villain for someone.
Yeah, 100%.
Or even a star.
Do you know, there's a scene in that where he's talking to Mickey Rourke's character.
Yeah.
Whiplash.
No, the actual name of the
Vanko.
Ivan Vanko. And he finishes what he's saying and he goes,
Bird.
I'm leaving now. And it just walks by. The way he delivered it was so funny. I just thought, he's got a lot of charisma, that character.
Yeah, but also, that Mickey Rourke ad-libbed an awful lot in this film. And some of it is just fantastic because you wouldn't get the...
I feel like Sam ad-libbed some stuff as well, to be honest.
This is not my board.
Yeah.
I want my board. My bird. What you want?
Your Russian bird?
I'll give you a nice bird, any bird.
Any bird.
I like it. He's like, I got some ice cream. It's Italian. Straight out of San Francisco.
It's all of that. And it's their interactions because you've got Mickey Rourke who's taking it too seriously.
Yes.
And then you've got Sam Rockwell who's like, I'm in it for the giggles, mate.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm playing this.
He's having fun with it.
And he plays villains so well. It's so good. The War Machine, the drones, the suitcase suit, the fucking Mark.
Yes, Mark 4, Mark 5, isn't it?
It might be.
Mark 7's in Avengers.
Mark 5. It's fantastic.
The running joke of his stuff being inferior tech to Tony's.
He just snaps. He breaks it. The Whiplash suit as well.
Yeah.
And the fact
the Formula 1 scene, isn't it?
But it's the scene where he comes out as the way he comes out of the overalls, and as he flicks out the whips, it burns off of him.
That's right.
It cinders to the ground. And I just think Mickey Rourke as this villain. I know he's got the grill. He does not look like some sort of engineer or scientist, but he is a really good Russian villain.
Especially when he's whiplashing towards the camera in that scene.
And he's whipping it over.
Yeah, it's really good.
He's literally just doing it over and over again. Like, you see kind of, if you ever watch any of this stuff, people doing whip stuff, like, it's ridiculous what he's actually doing with these freaking lit whips and not hitting himself. But yeah, the Formula 1 cars through the street going off in the chase, it's just...
I take it he trained for that then.
I think it's just one of those latent skills, like, Tom Selleck rides horses.
True. Tom Selleck rides horses. Quigley, is it?
Yeah, it's Quigley down under.
Quigley, that's it.
But yeah, it's one of those things. I think Mickey Rourke in this is just villainous. I think Sam Rockwell gives him just an air of kind of humanity. You finally get an idea of what Pepper Potts is about. Like, she's trying to run the company. You've got the sequence.
Is it the greatest intro? I think
He buys her strawberries and
it's the one
finds out
where
she's
you think
allergic
he's
to
coming
them.
over like Iraq or something.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it comes
and
down to like the
She lands,
yeah,
and and that's and it opens out. I think it's the
convention center.
convention centre. Yeah, because
But the way they shoot it was like you think he's going into battle, don't you?
Yeah.
And it's like,
and he just falls out of the sky. You see all the fireworks.
The
going
fireworks,
off.
yeah.
And then of course you've got the girls doing the sequence, and they've all got like what's supposed to be repulsive.
AC/DC kicking in. It's,
And AC/DC playing. It's just everything you need in an Iron Man film.
When I first saw Iron Man 2, in that exact scene when he pops down, but then you've got the thing that takes all the armor off,
and he's wearing this.
But as soon as the helmet comes off and he smiles and he turns and he smiles, that there is. That's how I just picture Tony. From reading the books, that's Tony right there.
And Robert Downey Jr. is 100% Tony Stark.
Yes.
Yeah. I am looking forward to Doomsday. I don't care what anyone says about Doctor Doom. I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait.
I hope they play that it looks like him and it's just like a mock, and that's what fucks him first.
From what I've read, that's
Hold
pretty
that
much.
thought.
Yeah, that's pretty much where they're going down the line.
And there's like you were talking about the drones earlier as well.
Yeah.
The fight scene in that before Ivan comes, and there was this wicked. I think we saw this in like a cinema with like the basest DTS ever. And there's a scene where War Machine just machine guns and the bass, the thumping on that. So good.
Hold on, I got this weapon, Tony. I got this thing. It's going to take him. This is the mother-in-law.
The ex-wife.
The ex-wife.
Ding.
Is it
That's
the
so
first
good.
time we see Tony's proper?
Yeah, the actual.
Just
The job and he goes, hammer tech.
hammer tech. That's what I mean about
the
it.
laser thing,
Him
doesn't it?
ripping his tech. You know.
But yeah, a load of people hated this. A load of people jump on it. I think it's fantastic.
I got no
Again,
problem with this one.
It wasn't Iron Man.
It wasn't Iron Man. Nothing's going to be Iron Man. Even the third one, which was the third one I still really rate.
I still feel cheated about the man.
Extremis was
I'm not letting that one go.
Extremis was such a really good story, and Eddie Granol's
It was the
artwork was
Incredibles.
fantastic in the books. So I was waiting for that one as well. But
I'm glad you put it because I took it out, mate.
I rate 3 over 2, 100%. I think more people like 3 with the engineer thing.
Unpopular.
I like 2 a lot.
I like two.
I like to.
But there you go, Iron Man 2.
Nice, mate.
Thank you.
Nice.
Go on in, Chris. Number 3, mate.
So number 3 is what I'm classing as the original was late 80s, and I like to call a B+ movie. It wasn't quite a B movie, and it was a martial arts film called Best of the Best.
Ah,
Do you see that? Yeah. This is
Like,
Best of the
obviously
best 2.
Best of the Best 2.
I haven't seen Best of Best 2 though.
Well, the premise of Best of the Best was that you had the Koreans and the Americans Taekwondo championships, blah, 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 blah. They have a big tournament. But number 2 comes in from where they're all friends. And then the cowboy who's Chris Penn, you know. Yeah. He plays like this Las Vegas sort of redneck cowboy sort of rancher guy. And he goes into this underground fighting zone, which is like Vegas style, not like back. It's got the money, it's got the underground betting. He beats a load of people up, calls out the main guy, the undefeated champion of Brackus. Don't fuck about. Calls him out, he gets all the good odds, and he just gets annihilated. I think it breaks his neck, and that's when you have the guys from Best of the Best one, which is Eric Roberts.
Yep.
And I think it was Tommy Yee or something. Who's not anybody who's ever been in anyone, but he looks like he should be the main guy.
He's got main character vibe.
He's got main character martial arts vibe.
Okay.
So this one starts off with the first one being just a taekwondo competition. This one, they have to go and avenge their mate, who then send a hit squad to come and attack them on their yard, which is a bit like the yard out of Terminator 2. You got that?
Okay,
Yeah, so it all kicks off. You got guns, proper 80s. And what I like is when you watch it, it's slow martial arts. You know, like
Most 80s ones were,
but when you're watching it back as a kid, you're like, oh, he's kicking ass and taking names.
Is it martial arts that defies all logic?
It is.
Good.
It's like there's there's flips and then that's it. They are out for the movie. You know, if you get hit off, that's it. You're done for.
And it has that montage sequence, the training sequence.
So obviously,
every 80s one has to have a trunk.
So obviously, they go in to avenge their guy. Brachus is not happy, and he gets cut just a tiny. But an 8.
Yeah.
All that for a drop of blood.
Draw blood on Brachus. No. So
Shit's about to hit the fan now.
that's why it ends up having to have the fight between Tommy and Brachus, and then Eric Roberts. But then you have to get the old boys, who were the enemy in number 1, the Koreans.
Right.
They had to come over, take out the whole underground fighting zone. But Tommy fucks him up. Fucks him up at the end, and he's like, ah. You give it to that, you know, the Van Damme.
Yeah.
Broken neck. Yeah. And like the commentator is, I want to say the priest guy from License to Kill. You know the.
Oh yeah, I know.
He's got that sleazy,
Yeah,
and he's the
yeah.
character. And obviously, when you're the champ, you end up becoming the owner of the establishment.
Of course.
But Tommy's, he's not in it for the glory. He shuts it down. And that's where it ends. Because Best of the Best 3 just goes off.
But it's not better than 2.
No way.
How many was there in the end?
I think there's 4.
Right.
I haven't
Because I
played.
always get them mixed up with American Ninja and all those type of films because they were what was all coming out then, wasn't
American
See,
Ninja
number
Bloodsport.
2 was just enough for it to be a sequel, whereas number 4 just became, now you're like protecting gangs. And
And
Right.
do you know why you're confused?
Why?
Because they are all the same film.
Well, it's true, yeah.
Yeah.
Until we got
Apart from Best of Best
to
movies,
early
something
90s, then we got Surf Ninjas.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Or Little Ninjas at Thunder Mountain or whatever it was called.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, but this one was like,
3 Little Ninjas.
I started to
Three
do
Ninjas.
taekwondo and someone lent me the best of the best. And then it was always like, you walked into that old video shop and then just
The covers were so
the
great.
excitement of seeing a number 2. Because you don't realise that sequels are fucking shit. And you're like, oh,
When did this happen?
Mum! Best of the Best 2!
Ninja Cop
Get this
3
for
and
me!
shit.
Get this! I'm King of Thieves! 3 for 2!
King of Thieves!
Yeah, so this one is just one of those. This one's a B movie, but this one's just has a special place. When this one, I was like, this one was so easily on my list. It was like, oh, Best of the Best 2. That's tech, easy.
That was on the list straight away.
Straight away.
Nice.
The others were a bit of a thing, but this one was, you know, it was good because it came in a double DVD. You know, Best of the Best with 2.
Ah, okay.
Nailed it. Which I own.
Nice. Is that the one that's stored away?
No, it's
It's a
in there.
DVD,
Is
it's
there?
in pride
Is
of
there?
place.
Nice.
I'll be like, you've not seen Best of the Best?
I've only seen the first one, not 2.
Oh,
You haven't seen number 2?
you haven't
I've
seen
seen
number
2,
two?
3 or 4. I was an American Ninja guy. But hey, they're all the same, like you said.
Right, yeah.
3 Ninjas.
3 Ninjas, yeah.
3 Ninjas.
Nice. Anything else?
No, go and watch
Cool.
it.
My number 3 is 3, yeah?
Yep.
My number 3 is the sequel to my favourite comedy of all time. 1992's Weekend at Bernie's 2.
Oh, such an awful film.
No, honourable mention.
Honourable mention, nice. Sorry, I'm so glad I didn't take it from you. What can I say? It's the one where it goes way over the top. You thought the first one was over the top. There's
This one's
nothing
worse.
compared to the sequel.
But also, how's that body not decayed by this point?
Exactly,
Like,
right?
I mean, they make him out to be grey in this, but he should have
No.
just
Like,
It should have been green.
Yeah.
Psycho style.
But this is it, because there's like a 4-year gap between the movies, but I think this is like meant to take place straight after the first one, isn't
I
it?
think just a day's difference.
Yeah. So if anyone doesn't know what Weekend Birdies is, the first one is about 2 losers who find out their boss is like basically taking the company for a run for its money. The boss finds out that they find out, so he tries to kill them. Turns out Bernie's the one who is the one that dies. So they have to spend the rest of the movie trying to make out Bernie's alive, so this dead body, and people don't notice it. It's ridiculous. It's the best comedy ever. Go watch it. But let's go to number 2. Number 2 is where they find out Bernie. So the 2 losers are back in it again, and they find out that Bernie has got like a secret fortune stashed somewhere in Jamaica,
Something like that.
Bahamas, something like that.
Offshore.
It might be Hawaii.
Somewhere
or
Caribbean,
whatever,
isn't it? It's, so how they do it, they get Bernie out of the morgue, and obviously they manage to shove him in a suitcase, like he's all bent over and whatnot. His little head sticking out, and I forget the guy's actor that played Ted. Something his name is, but Bernie died with a smirk. So throughout this movie, his head's been smashing, but he's always smirking at the same time.
Is that the actor who is Bernie came back to do this.
Yes,
film.
yeah. All of them return from the first one, isn't it?
Yeah.
And anyway, they get to Jamaica, and then they find there's some other gangsters in this town that know Bernie from the past and figure out he's back in town, but they don't know he's dead. Or do they know he's dead? No, they do know he's dead because they use voodoo magic to bring him back and point the way.
Yes.
So this is where it gets ridiculous. So you thought the first one was bad. It was like, ooh, bring voodoo. But this is a movie about trying to make a dead guy alive all the time. But anyway, they use voodoo magic, it finds out, and then what happens is when they play music, Bernie wakes up and starts walking in the direction to where his fortune is. No matter what part of the world he's in, he would just start walking. Well, it's not walking, he sort of slouches, doesn't he? And he walks on the way there. But they obviously figure it out, and they try and get there, and then there's always this run-in with the gangsters, and part where they try and use... There's this pretty cool part where they go into a bank, and they need Bernie to sign something. I think it's for a lock safe or something like that. And what they do is they use one of those detective coats, like a long, but they can slip their arms in.
That's right.
And they say, Mr. Bernie, can you sign? And they use their arm to look like his, even though the hands are literally the wrong way. But they get him to sign it, because they make it out like he's got a bad jaw or something, so he can never talk. And there's so much ridiculous to this. There's a part where Bernie's just walking to the beach, and this girl tries to hit on him, but then the boyfriend comes in and thinks Bernie's hitting on his girlfriend, and he's not. He's just walking, so he punches the dead guy. But as he pulls Bernie moves around and slaps, because his arms are so loose, and just slaps the guy. It is absolutely ridiculous comedy. I love it so much. It's always... Weekend at Bernie's 1 and 2 will always have a place in my heart, but this is just absolute batshit stupidness. But it's fun and entertaining at the same time. If you love the first one, you know what the jokes are in the second one. But if you can get past the whole voodoo magic thing, it is, balls to the walls. Great fun. Great in the early 90s soundtrack as well, by the way.
Yes.
But yeah, Weekend at Bernie's 2 is my number 3. Let's go to number 2.
Number 2.
Back to you, Howard.
For my number 2, I have a number 2. It is Cannonball Run 2.
My
Favourite car film.
I do like Cannibal Run 2. I do think it's better than the first one.
Now, I think we've covered this previously at length, so I won't go too much into it because I would encourage you to watch a previous episode of the M.T.V.B. podcast.
Go back and watch it.
However,
top 5 car chases?
It was, yes. So the premise is daredevil motorists head off on an illegal cross-country car race for the chance to win $1 million prize. Now, it's a retread of the original, and the original was about a cannonball run across the states in order to win this money. So you get several returning faces to the franchise, as well as some new faces as well. This is most notable because it's Frank Sinatra's last screen appearance.
With Sammy Davis Jr. and with
D-Mine.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
backpack return.
Yeah, the backpack return, and pretty much they all disappear after that.
Yeah.
It's pretty much their last appearance. So, what a steaming pile of poo.
How
However,
dare you, sir?
It is not.
as a kid, 1984 is when this was released, and I think I must have seen it 85, 86. The VHS revolution. That's
And
when
it
I
used
saw
to be an ITV staple.
It was an ITV staple.
Along with
It
Smoking the
was,
Bandit
you're right,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, because they would never show Cannonball Run. It was always Cannonball Run.
it was always two.
It was Smoking the Bandit 2. And what was it? There was one other film as well. Doesn't matter.
Same vein. But yeah, I mean, as a kid, I absolutely adored this film. I think that what made it for me was Burt Reynolds and Dom DeLuise as
100%.
JJ and...
Carried that film.
I can't remember.
What was where he was Captain Chaos.
Captain
wasn't he?
Chaos.
Captain Chaos. Just the interplay between those two, because they were clearly good friends outside of this
you
film.
could
In
tell.
real life, they were brilliant friends, and it showed on screen. And it was the characterization between those two that drew me to this every single time. All of the other characters were they were just extraneous to the whole setup. You got the outtakes at the end, which absolutely made it.
Yes.
Because you watch the film, you enjoy the film, but
And
the
then you
outtakes,
watch the end, yeah.
and then you watch the outtakes, yeah. So it's to see
I
where.
wish all movies could have that at the end.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, Hal Needham, who directed it, I think he created something really special there, and it proliferated for a little while, and nobody really picked it up after that, which is a shame. But it's the scene at the very beginning where they're at the. It's like an air show, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Burt Reynolds is trying to convince Dom DeLuise to get into the cannon. In order to fire him off.
That's right, yeah, he's doing the stunt thing.
Doing the stunt thing, yeah. And he convinces him to be Captain Chaos in order to get the courage in order to get into the cannon. But it's the outtakes at the very end that absolutely have me in bits. But yeah, so the premise of the film is that all of these daredevil drivers get together in order to race across the country and win this money, which is put together by Sheikh.
I don't remember the
I want
Sheikh's
to say
name.
falafel, but
It could be something like that, but they take the piss out of it.
So bad.
They take the piss out of it the whole way through, and it's
They do.
100% inappropriate.
They do.
And it gets worse because he puts it up because his dad told him
to make something of
to make
himself.
something of himself. So the only thing he thinks is he can win the race.
Win the race.
To win the money that he is putting up for the race.
Yeah. I mean, it's so paper thin. You could tear holes in the plot the whole way through, but it's brilliant. And Jamie Farr, he's the Sheikh, isn't he? Jamie Farr, who's from MASH. But just really enjoyable. I mean, I think when I look back now, and I've said this on previous podcasts, the films that I watched as a kid, I should not have watched as a kid.
None of us should.
No, and it makes it even better, and this is why this sits very high up on my list, because this is one of those ones we would always rent out on VHS, and my dad would always say, "Oh, comedy this weekend," we go Cannonball Run 2.
Hell yeah!
So every single time, or Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah, Smoking the Bandit was
Variations thereof.
I think the 18 and the 15 looked a lot like more enticing at the age, at the age of like
I'm going to
as
say
a
the
kid.
only difference was boobs. So
But
in
it
the
was like
18, you could
how dark the red looked on
Chris,
on a video.
in the 80s
you want to watch.
Nobody gave a shit what was printed on there. They just go, "Yeah, kids, yeah, you can have this
Yeah.
18 film. That's absolutely fine." Yeah,
No, but you had the left side and the right side of the video
that's
shot,
true. You did.
like all the good stuff.
It's strange how we gravitated towards the 18 section.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, we've covered it on a previous podcast.
Yeah.
But Cannonball Run 2, absolute all-time favourite of mine.
Go watch it just to see Dom DeLuise belly dance.
Oh,
It's the best ever.
Oh my god, horrendous.
Nice, good pick, sir. Marion.
Okay, so
Here's twos.
Here's twos. So I was going to flip them over. I'm going to keep my number one as number one. And number two, we're going with another comic book film. It's based on James O'Barr's second book of a series that he did, where in the first film that was created, the main character died in real life. Brandon Lee was shot in The Crow. This is The Crow 2 City of Angels.
Wow.
I fucking love this film.
Is this the one with the French guy?
It's the one with, I can't remember the guy's name now. It's not Tim Pope. But yeah, it's got the French actor as the lead. And basically, him and his son witness the death of someone. And with that, the gangsters then go to kill him. the opening sequence. I mean, it's got one of the greatest trailers for a Crow film ever.
I remember that trailer.
And it's got the girl who helps him through, Sarah, who then kind of helps him and his son kind of get to the end of the whole thing, get his vengeance, essentially. But what you realise after watching the film is, and I didn't realise this till long after the film, is Sarah is actually Sarah from the first Crow film. What you're actually witnessing...
Oh, the little girl!
No, he's the love interest of the main character in the original Crow film is Sarah, the one that gets killed for him to come back.
Oh, I thought it was Shelley. You don't realise it was Sarah.
It is, but it's Sarah is
in
this, and it's her helping him go through death.
Okay.
So it's him crossing the river, essentially. Right. So all the gangs in this kind of like, it's so
it's still Eric in this?
No, it's not Eric. It is a character called, I can't remember his bloody name again. Ash.
Oh, okay.
And he witnesses the death with his son. They get killed, and then they go after Thomas Jane.
Ah, no way.
Eric Punisher. You've then got, who else is it as well? Iggy Pop, like I said. And they all kind of, it's his revenge story to get to his son, and Sarah in this gets killed as well during this journey, and so he ends up with two sets of vengeance. So he dies and then comes back again, and it's an evil kind of witch character, which is similar to the witch character from the first one, that's kind of seeking out this whole kind of entity of the crow. When you die, a crow is said to take your soul to the other realm. Should you have been wronged, the crow will have the power to bring you back. And that's what this is. It's him travelling through his afterlife and him seeking vengeance in his afterlife. And once he gets that peace, he's done. It's filmed in a very different way. There's lots of kind of practical effects, fights, gun scenes, lots of action, lots of vengeance. And some of the really cool sequences, I can't remember the actor's name, but the French actor that takes on the role of Ash is fantastic in it. Iggy Pop is just Iggy Pop. He's a maniacal nut job like the whole way through. The film, I think, is shot fantastically. It plays out fantastic. It was said to be like a garbled mess in a couple of things. I don't think it is. I think if you follow the story for what it is, it's a travel through the afterlife. It's a great film.
Yeah, I remember seeing the trailer for it, but from what I remember, it never really got the theatrical release. It was like a VHS thing, wasn't it, or something?
Was it a red cover?
No, that's the third one.
Which is Edward Furlong.
Oh, okay.
And Kirsten Dunst?
It might well be Kirsten Dunst. I'm trying to remember now, because the ones that I've seen up to, so there's 4 that I've seen, and one of them I think is fantastic as well, is where the character of the crow doesn't put on the face paint.
Okay.
He is in an electric chair, and the mask they put on him leaves the scars.
Oh, no way.
So as he gets electrocuted, he comes out of the chair, and as he comes back to life, he's crawling out of the pit, and the grave, the shallow grave they've dug him outside, for him committing murder, but actually he was falsely accused of it, and the guy that set him up is actually watching him die in the electric chair. And as he comes to life, he comes out of the grave, and you see his face, and it's all scarred, and it's all fucking melted, where like the mask has been put on for the electric chair, and he tears the skin off. And as he tears the skin off, his face comes out beneath it, and it's scarred in the crow makeup.
Wow.
It's fantastic.
That's pretty cool.
And I believe that's David Boreanaz is the bad guy in that one as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like.
Did you see the recent remake?
I have not yet.
Are you going to?
I'm going to, because it's The Crow. I'm probably going to treat it with the same kind of massive distaste that I had for the new Hellboy. So yeah. So we'll go with that. So yeah.
Nice. No one ever talks about that movie as well. But it's
I've
underrated.
never seen it.
Even if you take it as an art piece, it's a fantastic film. Like it's all filmed in like a yellow tone. The whole film is like this yellow tone, and when you understand that actually it's because you're not on Earth, you're in the afterlife.
Yeah,
it makes more sense than watching it going, well, this wouldn't happen. It's like it's a much better film. I like The Crow City of Angels. I like all the Crow films so far.
Bar the remake.
But I've not seen the remake, so I'm not going to pass judgment on it. But by all accounts, it's not a Crow film.
Chris, number 2, sir.
So this one is a clash, and it's the one that you said earlier, and it's Die Hard Live Hard.
I was waiting for you to say Weekend at Bernie's too.
No, Die Hard 4. For me,
Wow.
I put this one on here because no one really gives it the love that it.
Thank you.
And on popular opinion, I don't know whether it's number 2 or number 3.
Best Die Hard movie ever.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so for me, it's
Wow.
either it goes 1, 4, or 3.
2, 5.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
Oh.
2 is only, I think, due to the fact how much I've watched it and how much ITV have probably cut it for me over the years.
See, I'd say 1,
But
3, 2, 4, 5.
Oh, see,
But
I think
this is-
mine actually goes down in order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
But this is
4.
how much I
Oh,
kind of
5,
really
4.
liked 4 to the point where it's like
Go up to beat Vengeance and
yeah,
Harder.
5. I'm not fussed with,
I
but
like the Russian stuff.
4.
5. That was good.
This one for me because it had Timothy Oliphant, anything with him in,
Timmy Ollie, fantastic.
and like you said earlier, the bit with the jump jet and the truck, I'm all for it. But put the bald guy from Fast and the Furious, I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? But because it's McLean, I'm well and truly on for it. It's like, so this one just had him being old school. It had everything, new computers, hacking was sort of new.
That's what I missed out on. He's
He's a
the
hacker.
old. He's used to the olds, and now he's got to get with the times.
He's
Isn't it?
like, you can't just bust it in. And he's like,
But it's like, do you remember the conversations he has with him? It's like, what are we doing? Oh, we're going to go out on jugs, what we used to do in the 70s. It's like, because everyone's getting Ubers now.
Yeah.
They haven't got the patience to walk somewhere and stuff, isn't it? But,
yeah, just the little things about him like hacking the phone a little bit.
And it's like, how do you do this?
How do you do that? And you're just like, watch this kid sort of thing. It's just, it came out after a long.
Yeah.
I don't know because
95
Die Hard
so 11 years.
11 years. So, and by that point, films had come out that were not as good. But this one come out, and I remember just sitting there being like, walking out of the cinema, I was just like, that was because this is the only one that I've seen at the cinema, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, properly. So yeah, it had that feel of being at the cinema, how much I liked it. And then I couldn't understand
Why it was getting so bad mouthed.
why it gets so bad mouthed. It's like, because I didn't see much of it. But then, like, that's why, I mean, when I say they're out of order, the order's so high and tight that the difference between 4 and 2 is how am I feeling today?
Right.
But it would be like, I've got Die Hard 2 and 4 here. Which one are we watching? We go, put 4 on. But is that because because 2 was always on ITV as a kid?
Maybe.
That's
It
it.
was always on.
And this is what I was talking about when we did the greatest movie sequels of all time episode. It's like T2 would have been on that top 5 list, but I watched it religiously as a kid. It sort of just went out.
And the cut in ITV.
You had the TV cut.
So when you end up watching the film that I have in my head, it's not until I watched it. What the fuck's this bit? But yeah, it was just.
That'd be a good top 5 TV cuts.
TV cuts.
No,
TV
Christ.
I've got a very good one for number 1.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, but this one was
Beverly
just,
Hills Cop.
Yeah.
so I was so hyped for 5 that it didn't.
Didn't deliver.
It didn't deliver. So
It's still entertaining.
But it wasn't-
why I knew.
It wasn't bad.
Which is why it's made
Right,
4
okay.
so much like
Yeah.
on a pedestal for me, because it's kind of like, I just think the whole scene with Timothy Oliphant driving around in that armoured truck.
Yeah, and then
Hacking
the
everything.
jetty tries to shoot it off the bridge, and it's like, it's leaning to one
The
side.
chaos he causes.
So good. Underrated, mate, as fuck.
But that's the sort of one of all global terrorism and everything to send you back to the dark ages of stone, like no computer, no internet, no money, no nothing. That's scary.
Yeah, too right.
Even
We
over a wasteland.
rely on it way too much now. It's like me, I'm a big physical media guy. I still buy 4Ks, Blu-rays and all that stuff because there will be a time, I'm saying it now, folks, where the internet will be gone at one point, and then what you got to do then? You'll be fucked. I can still watch my movies.
Yeah. So this one is number 2 just because of how iconic the order of Die Hard being either 1, 3 or 2, 2 or 3. that it snuck in there. And
So if you don't watch Die Hard 2 for a long time, do you think it might pop back up?
it might pop back up in there. It'd be the same as like if he's losing his shit right now listening to this, screaming.
John's going mental now.
Yeah.
Die Hard 2 is the best ever. I watch it every Christmas Eve.
I like Chris. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Oh, you wait, mate. You wait till he watches the episode.
Don't worry, because that's what we say about
But there's a part in that movie I love because, like I said, John McClane is not a tech whiz at all. But there's a part where he's on the screen and he's got the Timmy Fantastic on the other end, and he covers the camera and goes, "Do you think we can try and track him?" And he's like, "If you cover the camera, it does not turn off the mic."
See, I like the bit where he goes, "Who's this Boba Fett person?" He's like, "Osmore or Star Wars."
That's
guy.
it.
He just loses his shit. Like, oh,
It's so good, mate.
it's so good for what it is, and I just think,
Very underrated.
very underrated. Not to me.
No chance.
So number 2.
Number 2. Good
Also
pick, mate.
point out, without that film, you wouldn't have got Cop Out.
Oh my god.
Yes. Everyone interested? If you're ever interested in that story, go listen to Kevin Smith's Q&As, mate.
100%.
Some great
100%.
stories of how he works with Bruce Willis in that.
Or not, as the case
Cop
may
Out's
be.
great
Or
film.
not. But the Die Hard 4
Yeah,
situation is pretty good as
Oh,
well.
yeah,
It was
it's
a
really
good
good,
story. Nice, mate. Good pick. My number 2 is also a number 2. My number 2, TMNT.
That was so close to going on here. I nearly put the third one.
I was hoping it wasn't. Is it Emily's? No.
It was so close.
Yes. I fucking love Secret of Ooze. All right. So, okay. It's what, 2 years after the first one or a year after the first one?
A couple of years.
It's not as dark and gritty as the first movie, but it's still there. The problem with this one for most people is that we got characters in this that are brand new, but we were expecting other characters. So anyway, it's got one of the best openings ever. Just like the first one, we see New York, we see pizza, we see people munching pizza, so you know this is going somewhere. We meet this guy.
You see the newspaper stands.
The
and it's got on
newspaper
there,
stands.
Secret heroes in the shadows.
Yes. And we get this guy who's a pizza deliverer. He goes and delivers to someone, but sees a robbery in progress at the time. And he's like this martial arts guy. He beats up a few of them, but then there's a bunch more that come after him. He's like, "Oh, someone help!" And then in the background, it's blurry. They're there. You see them coming down, and they just jump into frame.
It's that awful kind of. It's almost 80s-esque where they jump, pause. There's the title, and then the title goes away, and they
But it
continue.
oozes. I love how the two. Oh, it's so good. And then it comes in, and then unfortunately, you can tell the turtles have changed. Like the puppeteer in the suits, everything is a little bit more child friendly, shall we say?
The voice
But I didn't
actors are
notice
different
it
as well.
when I watched.
No,
It's only when you go back and say it as an adult.
Exactly.
Because it.
Toka.
But
I didn't even see the eyes in the first one. You know, like the human eyes.
Yeah.
I didn't see that, and I didn't see him in this one.
Yeah, I always felt that this shouldn't be called The Secret of Ooze. Like Mario just explained now, Shredder's back. This should have been the Revenge of Shredder. Huh?
Was it Kevin Nash? The Shredder.
Later on, we'll come to that. So anyway, obviously, we thought Shredder died in the last one. He doesn't. He actually comes back in the most fucking coolest helmet ever. Yeah. But it's got the blades over it and everything. The Foot Clan are back and everything. They're trying to recruit and everything, aren't
it's
they?
the bit where you see him turn up, and after that, it's just him sharpening the helmet.
The helmets,
on the
yes.
Grinder wheel.
And then he's got his Tatsu, is it?
Tatsu.
Yeah, and he's like, "What do we do?" And he goes, "Well, you've got one thing left, and that's revenge." And you know how it gets to the camera and whatnot. But there's this really cool part later on in the movie where Raphael is helping this kid out in the Foot Clan, and he sees this glimpse of Shredder, and the way he looks at him, like he's terrified. What? And then he's like, "You know what happened?" He's like, "Oh, nothing. I thought I saw a ghost." And then we get to the two characters we thought were going to be Bebop and Rocksteady. Yeah. Wasn't the case at all. Unfortunately, it was who?
Toka
and Razor, which was like a wolf and a snapping turtle.
Yeah.
Totally opposite to what the characters we wanted. but the little kid in me was still like, this is still fucking awesome. It's meant not be Bebop Rocksteady, but it's cool.
They did imply, they kind of fed you that.
Yeah.
They didn't tell you it wasn't, but that's
We've got some way better fight scenes in this compared to the first one. And I get they were so limited with the first one, but I don't know how they've done it with these suits, but the flexibility of these martial artists in this is unreal. And I'm not going to deny that. Even Donnie has these cool moves where he's just dancing. Next minute, he just drops and kicks in the air. Unreal. It's so good.
It's Splinter as well. Splinter saves the day as well.
Yeah, exactly. As always.
Yep, as always.
Unfortunately, the original April O'Neil's not back either.
No, she had no.
Casey Jones isn't back either, is she?
No,
is he? Sorry,
he comes back for the third one.
Does he? He's like a relative from the past or something, isn't he?
No, because he.
He's come back. You are right. Back, yeah. No, you are right.
Because he looks after the three when they come back.
That's right. Yes, you are right. But then obviously we get to the ending where they're beating up Turco and Razor, then they have to flee into a nightclub with, of course, Vanilla Ice with Go Ninja Go. Is literally on par with Turtle Power. Fucking great song. But not only do they think, oh shit, there's adult turtles in here. There's this part where he's going, look at these costumes. I love this club.
but what was the bit? So the one thing that kept touching back on all the comic books in this film was who the bad guy was.
Yes.
Because the Doctor is Dr. Baxter Stockman.
Yes. Right. Who's the actor that plays him? He's in Time Bandits. The bad guy in Time Bandits.
I can't remember his name. But he...
Charles something, I know it is.
He in the comic books becomes the David Fly
Warner.
Dude.
David Warner.
That's it, David Warner.
He in the comic books is the Fly Dude,
well.
and then he creates the Mouser robots and stuff.
That's it.
And I was so waiting for that when I saw his name come up.
The hint come up, yeah.
And it was like, oh no, he doesn't do anything. He becomes friends with Donnie as well.
Because they're both scientist guys, aren't they? Yeah.
He drops the pizza when they're trying to recreate the ooze. I got an idea. Ice cubes.
Yeah, that's it. And they put the ice cube into the donuts to trick Toka and Razor. Anyway, they get defeated. The Foot Clan gets defeated, but of course Shredder's all on his own. So what does he do? He kidnaps some random broad in the club, whatever it is, and he's like, "Don't come closer. I've got this vial of ooze. I'll spray it all over if you come close to me." They
what's the play they use?
I can't remember.
Donnie, Statue of Liberty.
That's it.
Go on.
And then, what was it? Oh, yeah, they distract him, they blow a speaker, and he goes flying out, but he gets covered in the ooze. So what do we get? Super Shredder. The badass fucking dude that was now Kevin Nash. This is where Kevin Nash comes into it. And for years, I never knew that was Kevin Nash. I'll be honest with you, mate.
No.
But that scene where they're on the harbour and he smashes through it and you can just see him smashing off the muscles, the spikes on him.
I still don't understand
so cool.
how the suit mutated. Like him, I get. But how did the suit mutate?
Yeah.
Go and ask questions like that.
And I thought, here we go. Here comes like the best fucking fight scene ever. And this is the only downside to this movie is the end of Super Shredder. He's unstoppable. They can't beat him, so he just keeps knocking this harbour that they're all being in. He's like, Shredder, if you knock this down, you'll kill us. You'll kill yourself. And he's like, so be it. And then it all comes around about Shredder being Shredder. He's a dickhead. He forgets they're turtles. They can swim, so it doesn't make any sense. But it all collapses. They survive, and you think to yourself, Shredder gets his arm out, and he's like, and that's it. That's how Super Shredder dies.
Yep.
But they don't. It's just. They could have, But again, this is for kids. How did they get past it? That was the only thing they could do at the time. I absolutely love this. I saw the first one in cinema, and I saw this here, and I remember seeing this in cinema before they played it. They had. Does anyone remember it? It was the teaser trailer for T2.
Yes.
And it's not even parts of the film. It's just how they build Arnie, and
it's like
it's. Just a great movie. I don't know why it gets such a bad rap. I mean, like I said, apart from it aiming a bit more kids, it doesn't have the dark and gritty tone of the first movie. It's so much fun. I absolutely love this with a passion. It's got like a massive guilty pleasure for me on this one. Had to go on the list regardless.
I like it.
So that's my number 2. TMNT 2 Secret of Ooze. Let's go to the number 1.
Brilliant.
It's number 1.
Bring it home, Howard. Number 1. Highlander 2.
Yes.
That was John's number one, by the way.
The Quickening. I like that film.
Really?
Yes, I
Oh,
do.
the shitting in. It's just such a bad
so
film.
bad.
No, it's not Highlander 2. Although that does make my honourable mentions list, but for bad reasons, because it's not even a good sequel. Anyway, let's forget about that. Scrub that from history. My number one is Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Was my number one in the first one.
No.
Yes.
I love Indiana Jones. We've talked about this at length on previous podcasts. It's no secret. And Gal, if you're listening or you're watching, then up yours.
Nathan Drake ain't got shit.
It got a lot of stick, and I think for the wrong reasons. Yeah, there was a scene where he gets in a fridge and he survives an atomic blast. Yes. There's the science fiction element that takes it away from its kind of occult roots. So we don't have any Nazis. We don't even have any thuggies. What we have are communists. And there's just elements to this film that people... A lot of time have passed. We've experienced a lot of things in cinema, and unfortunately, when that film came out, people were very ageist against Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially with the most recent one as well. And I will live and die by the fact that The Dial of Destiny is an amazing film.
Yep.
I love
Same
it.
here, folks.
Yes, I
Come
love
at
it.
me.
But Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, they didn't appreciate the fact that Harrison Ford had got old. And unfortunately, they had to kind of marry up that with a younger character when we get Mutt Lang. So obviously, Henry Jones III, Henry Jones Jr. III. Regardless, I think the story is very good. I think the acting is very good. I think the special effects are very good. It's directed very, very well. The one thing that was not well received was, I think, the setting and the tone.
And Ray Winston.
So Ray Winston.
He's the only downside to that movie. Is Ray Winston.
Jonesy!
Yeah, that's all it is. Jonesy!
Even Harrison Ford at one point turns around and goes, "Can you just give it a rest?" Yeah, Ray Winston. I think Ray Winston and Shia LaBeouf are the two elements of the film that don't quite work. I loved seeing Marion again, getting Marion Ravenwood back.
Yep.
Yes.
A big smile on my face. As soon as she comes out, she's like, "Get your damn hands off me!" Straight into Marion there, isn't it?
Yeah, because there's certain things about cinema history that just are, and one of them is Indiana Jones and Marion Ravenwood. They belong together, and you would say Han Solo and Princess Leia, and so on and so on. So, as soon as Marion Ravenwood comes onto the scene, you're like, brilliant, and it elevates it a little bit. I think John Hurt is excellent. He puts in a great performance.
Henry Jones Jr.
Cate Blanchett is absolutely spectacular. I love Cate Blanchett. I think she's brilliant in anything that she does. But given that Russian, she's Ukrainian.
Eastern Ukrainian.
She's Eastern Ukraine.
Well, the way you're saying those wobbles.
Wrapping your tongue around those wobbles. Lots of good things. I think the scene where he's fighting the big Russian in so they exit
Ants
from.
Nest, isn't it?
No, not a little bit earlier on. So they're out of the warehouse, and then all of a sudden they find themselves in the test facility.
Yes.
And they end up on the rocket.
Yeah, and it shoots them out of it, doesn't it?
And it shoots them out, And I think all of that was absolutely brilliant. And he makes his way into the tests. What was it called? What's the name of the town? I can't remember what the name of the town is now. They've called it something pertinent, but all of a sudden he suddenly realises that it's a fake town, and you've got all of these mannequins standing around.
The nuclear test town, yes.
Yeah, I can't remember what the name of the town is. But Howdy Doody is playing on the TV, and he realises he's in deep shit, and he tries to hide, and he finds a fridge, and he climbs into the fridge, and the fridge is lead lined, and the science behind that is that I think you probably could survive. What you can't survive
is the fallout that's outside of that the minute you get out of the fridge.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't even think you can open the fridge, can you?
In those days, I think you would have been able to, because that's a safety feature that they only introduced after a certain decade. So yes, he could have gotten out of the fridge. But what he couldn't have survived was the 100-foot fall. It would have broken every bone in his body. So Is it not realistic?
But then there's other ones in the previous films that are unrealistic, like jumping out of a plane from a rubber dinghy, for example.
Yeah, that would have killed you.
Having his heart ripped out by
Having
a
your heart
hand.
ripped out, that would have killed you. Yeah. I mean,
Kalima.
Jumping from minecart to the minecart.
Yeah.
if you watch any of these films, they're not realistic. And
So why was the limitation in that movie? That's what I'm
It
getting
just the mind boggled as to why people didn't like it. But it's Indiana Jones. I love it. I think Harrison Ford is brilliant. My Hollywood father all day long. And I will defend it to the hilt.
Because I had this in the last episode, the first time we did this. I thought you were going to go with Dial of Destiny.
No. That's for another list.
Yeah?
For another reason.
Part three.
Yeah. This got so much stick.
It is.
I don't know why, because it's a brilliant, enjoyable
Absolutely.
film. And
Unlike you, sir, I'll defend it to the day.
yeah, absolutely. I'm like Chris. Just go out and watch it. Go and look at it with an older set of eyes and tell me that it's not an enjoyable film.
Indiana Jones would never do anything with aliens. It was like, but he can have a knight that's been waiting 100 years for the Holy Grail.
Yeah,
Magic walls.
yeah.
The penitent man. The penitent man. The penitent man. The penitent man.
Yes, God.
He's holding on. He kneels.
Anything else on?
No.
Chemical Scott?
Go and watch it.
Enjoy it.
Enjoy it.
Mario.
So my number one is a comic book film. It is X-Men 3. No, it's not. It is Superman 3. I finally put it on. Yeah,
Put it on there.
put it on there. So Superman 3. Yeah. So I switched it between the Crow and that because I think Superman's just light-hearted enough. The bit that I love in this entire film is that the replacement chemical to make kryptonite is nicotine. Richard Pryor sits there
He makes it up.
with a computer, and the ingredient that he comes up with that is missing from the chemical makeup of kryptonite is nicotine. But what an effect it has on Superman. It turns into a drunk who then goes and sits in a bar flicking peanuts through a wall.
It's a bad Superman, doesn't
He
it?
does. He does. He's, I think it's supposed to be red kryptonite, or maybe it's
right.
orange kryptonite or some shit. But yeah, red. And he's flicking all the peanuts off, or peanut shells off the bar at the bottles behind it, smashing them all, and then eventually Superman turns up to take Superman away.
Clark, isn't it?
Yeah, and the two of them go and have a fight in the junkyard
junkyard.
as the two of them separate.
The tyres.
Yes, it's fucking brilliant.
That's the best scene in the movie. Is that
That
scene?
what I think the scene at the end where she gets sucked into
Scared the shit
I
out of
was
me
just
as a
about to say
kid.
that terrified me as a the bit
Yeah,
where she's
100%.
getting
and I look at it now and I'm trying to work out what it is they put over, and it's like licorice or something. They put it like candy sweets. They're putting over her face, and it's all stop motion as well. So it's not like she had anywhere to move. And then all the robotic stuff they add to her, and then she comes
And
out.
her eyes are white.
Yeah,
and
where
everything.
it's bonding to her face, and and she's static. She's just going.
and her eyes are getting wider, and
It's just a
But that's it. It's when she steps out, and she's literally like, as a kid, that's very, very.
and
Scary.
it's that film. I think is it's not the best Superman. I
This
think
is what I don't. This is one of those ones where I was saying, surely everybody loves Superman 3. And people will always say, "What about Superman? What are you talking about? Superman 3 is brilliant."
yeah, Superman 3 I think is great for that reason. And I know a lot of people hate it, and I know it got absolutely tanked.
Yeah.
And awful. But putting Richard Pryor in it, I think, was genius.
Yeah.
He doesn't really play a comic role in this either, and Gene Wilder isn't in it with him, so it's just him standing by himself. I think he's drunk for an awful lot of it as well.
Probably, yeah.
I've got the photo. I was in the old telephone exchange. I recreated the key scene, and I sent it to Sally, and she just
He's
went.
up there with his foot on the thing, and
She just said
That's
that.
the problem with having.
She just went twat.
That's the problem with having Richard Pryor in it. Then the movie's got to be comedic, then,
Yeah.
isn't it? Is the issue?
yeah, because he starts off playing serious, but then I don't know whether he actually is drunk when he's filming it, or whether it's just the character he's playing, but he does this goofy thing. There's a lot of facial expressions, and when he's sat there and you're supposed to take him that he's the data engineer, or he's like this kind of computer engineer, and somehow he stumbles across kryptonite and then re-engineers it and gets it made. And the bit where he's got it in like a newspaper like it's a fish and chips.
That's right,
And
yeah.
they're going, oh, it's not going to burn you, mate. It's kryptonite. It's only
kryptonite.
affecting Kryptonians, you know. But it comes across that the only thing that he could think of at the time was he looks at his packet of cigarettes and goes, and puts it in, and then you get kryptonite and bad Superman. I like the film. Superman 3,
I think it's brilliant.
my number one.
The issue I've always had, and it cracks me up, is the look that he has to give that farmer
Oh yeah,
who's about to run over the kid who's singing.
Oh, yeah.
He looks at him like, what the fuck's you doing? Surely Superman could have just...
picked him up, moved him that way. Even just stood there, done what he does and everything else, destroy what's coming towards
just
him.
destroys it. But yeah, it was just a look, and you're like, oh. And was it the Leaning Tower Pizza guy?
Yeah, he straightens it. And he's there chucking away. But this is the film which anyone that hadn't read the books or hadn't been introduced to a young Superboy finds out about Lana Lang at the school reunion. His bully that he had at school, Superman had a bully. He gets his comeuppance, you know, the school superstar. Her son, who she saves in the field from the combine harvester. The whole
because it's the high school reunion, isn't
the
it?
high
Yeah.
school reunion.
It's Lana
He's gone back
Lang,
to
isn't it?
Smallville, to redo it all. It's just great. I like it. It's a great film. It's Superman 3. It's Superman. It's not 4, so it's better than 4, but still not as well liked. Superman
Nice.
3.
Well, at least we've got Superman 3 in there somewhere.
There you go.
Nice, good pick, sir.
Thank you all.
Come on in, Chris.
Here we go. It's going to throw up a few stinks, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. What is it?
Okay,
I'm worried now.
1987. This time it's personal. And it's Jaws the Revenge.
Oh.
So this
Number one!
This is on my honourable mentions.
Yeah.
And I nearly put it on the list.
It's number one for how much it's slated, how much everybody had. Even we sat here and I've gone, Jaws the Revenge. Shit. I'm like,
You've kept this in for how long?
yeah. I think you slated. You were talking about Jaws, and you went Jaws 4, and I'm all like, there's nothing fucking wrong with Jaws. Jaws 4 is one of these things that it was on a video that was recorded off the telly. You got to remember, this is 1987. Jaws 1 and Jaws 2 are hardly ever on.
It's a BBC late night.
Late night.
Yeah.
If it's on, it's like once a year.
Jaws 3 was always on ITV.
Always on. 4 was my ever introduction to Michael Caine. And
course,
Jaws.
yeah.
And Jaws. I think it pretty much was my
Michael
first
Caine.
ever Jaws, which is Jaws the Revenge. But I was thinking back of there's the scene in the sub, and he's being hunted down.
Yeah.
It's pretty. But I don't know if it's just because I haven't seen it in so long. Is it a shark that looks so shit, or is it just everything that's
A
about
shark that roars.
does it roar?
Underwater. Yeah, it does.
And she's like, "Oh, it's coming for me," and you're like, "Yeah, it fucking is." It's killed everybody you've ever come for, or if it's not, they say that you're more likely to get attacked by something else, but not in this family. The setting's cool.
The setting's kind of cool. I'll give it that. Jaws is definitely in that. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but I didn't notice that as a kid. You don't notice that as a kid. It's just Jaws 4. It's just more Jaws, more shit.
All right, if you see it from a kid's perspective, I get that.
That is what it is, and I haven't seen it since because everybody says it's so bad.
I went to the cinema to see this.
That's how.
Shut up.
Serious.
How old are you?
Genuinely went to the cinema. No, because it had a lower rating.
It's a
I
PG.
went with my parents. It was a PG.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it?
No, never.
Yeah.
I mean, my dad loved it because Michael Caine was in it.
Yeah, Jaws meets Cocoon.
That's my first
Jaws
ever
what?
introduction
Jaws
to
meets
Michael
Cocoon.
Caine, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, Hoagie.
It was all old people. There was no actual young kind of hero in it. It
No.
was all old or older people. So your parents were like, oh, look, it's me, the hero.
There is a rule from Jaws the Revenge that I have lived by, and that is fuck going on the last bit of the banana boat. Never have I. Never will I. Ever will I be on the last of the banana boat.
You won't get in the water. You won't get on the water.
He's
You
not
won't
getting on the
back of
banana boat.
At the back. But yeah, so I know it's slated, but it's like, yeah, I just remember loving this film as a kid.
But do you still like it now? That's the point of the list.
Yeah, come on. There are limits.
No, the list is because I do.
Okay.
I do still like.
Okay.
I will watch this one over 3 any day.
100%. Three's dog shit.
One and 2 are like
Masterpieces.
They're a different. It's a different.
Yeah, but those are back-to-back films.
I think 3 should be the absolute slayer. You know, it's rated as like 3%. Jaws: The Revenge. And I'm one of those 3.
Of the 100 people that watched it, you're...
But yeah, I just remember like enjoying this film for what it was. I will stand my
You're
decision
standing your ground, mate.
for Jaws: The Revenge. Okay. I will watch it over Step Up.
If any of you,
Well, I won't.
if any of you the extra 2%, let us
Yeah,
know.
if you're with me on the Jaws: The Revenge, we can start our own fan club. 3 likes.
Facebook fan club of Jaws of Revenge.
Yeah, because I never clocked the revenge bit. It just said
Wait,
Jaws: The Revenge.
No,
So
it didn't
to
make
me
any
that was
sense.
Jaws 1.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't clock that it was the woman or the little boy, it was Brody and.
No, obviously when you're young, you're not gonna. Are you?
No, I mean, to be fair, I haven't watched it in a long time, but I don't think it should be getting the slate. I think it was good enough that there should be a Jaws 5.
I don't
And
know.
now
did
he's
you-
pissed.
Do you not remember Back to the Future 2?
There's 19 of them, isn't there?
Jaws, yeah, Jaws 20.
Jaws 12 as it
Jaws
comes out.
12.
As it comes out of the
And
screen.
what does Marty say?
Ah, it still looks fake.
Do you think we'll ever get another one?
Another Jaws?
No.
No.
You've got Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah,
you've
I was
got,
about to say you've got every
Meg,
other one that's
yeah.
just there could be the next Jaws, isn't it? But
You've got Sharknado. Yeah, you've got Volcano Shark.
the Meg,
Yeah, the
all
Meg.
that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I just
Drama.
like the tropical scene.
Bright 3D.
There was enough action. The banana boat, the submersible.
Isn't that another thing? Like a shark would never go to hot warm water or
Probably
something like that, or whatever it is.
Don't ask those
Yeah,
questions.
but that's where the revenge bit. And you think you'd rather go.
I mean, it was personal.
You'd rather go in the. Why would, if she's got that much of an issue being, why live by fucking water? Move to New York. Unless she moves to Paris and then they're coming up
well.
the fucking sane.
Anything's possible.
Anything is possible.
Jaws: The Revenge. Banging film. Unbelievable.
Oh, I think you
Right.
quite literally
Don't
jumped the
listen
shark.
to the people.
I really
the
want.
masses.
I really want the other 2%
Commentary
for
corner.
you, mate. Honestly.
Commentary corner.
If you're out there, please. Please.
Commentary corner. We've got to do it.
100%
We've
that
got
is
to do it.
happening.
Yeah.
In 4K, everything.
know?
Let's do 2 and 3 first.
That's
Yeah,
true,
we
yeah.
should do one every every spectacular. We should just do a Jaws. That's the
The
statement.
Jaws movies. Yes. 100%. We've done the first one anyway, mate.
I think it's only because I don't own it anymore. I don't have it on DVD. I don't have. But maybe I should.
Then maybe
I would.
You're going to have to now.
I would have it. 4K.
In all fairness, if I knew that for your 40th, I would have got that for your 40th.
Oh yeah.
Jaws 4 for your 40th.
But you need these lists to entice this out of you, don't you? Because it's like, I would have taken that to the grave.
Yeah.
And just watched it whenever it was on telly. What are you watching? Nothing.
No.
Porn.
I'm watching porn.
Tissues, just screwing them up and just throwing them on the ground.
Porn.
How much porn? Yeah, how much porn? Turns it on, and you got the shark coming. You're into some weird shit.
Because I said
You
to
need
Sally,
help.
I said, what's the number 1? I said, Jaws: Revenge. She went, fucking shit.
Right, okay. My one
that.
is. I don't know if I can top Jaws 4.
Don't bother.
Don't bother, but I'll throw it out there now. My number 1 is a sequel that took 28 years to make.
Oh, fucking hell.
So the first one came out in
Top
1982.
Oh, yes.
And this one came out in 2010. It is Tron Legacy.
Was it?
I love Tron Legacy. I do not know why this movie gets so hate.
That wasn't a flop, was it?
What?
Yeah. No, it wasn't a flop. It was panned.
It was panned. Absolutely panned.
Not by this guy.
And I like Legacy. But
And I don't
love the
understand
original.
why. This movie is directed well. The visual effects are mind-blowing for it.
Banging soundtrack.
Banging soundtrack.
Daft
The
Punk.
whole movie is composed by Daft Punk, which I think is a phenomenal idea.
Who were in it as well.
And they were in it. It's not just like, oh, guys, you can make a song for the movie. No. Do the music for the movie. And that I just find that to be genius. Directed by the man who ended up making Top Gun Maverick as well. So this was like in the peak of the 3D era as well when this came out. So, and I loved how they done it because in real world, no 3D. But when they went into the computer, it was all 3D. I bought a 3D telly just for this movie. Back when they came out, 2011, when 3D tellies were a massive thing.
Made of money?
Back then I was. No kids, no nothing. And then,
The active 3D glasses as well with the batteries in them.
No, the passive ones in the end. Couldn't do the active ones, way too much money. But yeah, it is a great story. I like the whole son looking for the father aspect to it, but there's obviously more. There's depth details with the first movie. There's characters that come back. So Tron himself, and there's another character in there. I can't remember what it's called now.
Rizzler.
No, it'll come to me in a minute. But action scenes are phenomenal. The frisbee scenes are amazing. The light cycle scene in this
upgraded 100%.
Oh, come on. So good in this movie. Jeff Bridges actually coming back into it because in the beginning he's digitized like it's a young Jeff Bridges.
He's young,
which doesn't hold up to much now, but at the time in 2010 it was mind-boggling to see a de-aged.
I think he was one of the
I'm trying to remember the name of his
de-aged.
character. It's Flynn, isn't it?
Flynn, yeah. Flynn, because the arcade is Flynn's arcade.
Yeah.
Which is what I wanted to call the arcade at the comic shop.
Michael Sheen's in it as well. He's a new bad guy in this movie. Jeff Bridges actually does pop up in this movie at one point, and his screen presence is like this man was made for Tron movies. I love how he does it. The dialogue in this is so good in this sequel as well. And we're only just getting a third one now.
Yeah, the third one
year.
comes out this year.
Is it this year?
I think it's this year.
Which is 15 years later.
Yeah, it's such a great idea.
Yeah.
The film concept you'll put into not the video games, but you'll put into a computer-based system.
Yes.
Like, and I loved that. I made a reference to it today, and the guy looked at me and went cross-eyed. I went, "It's okay. I fight for the users." And he looked at me and went, "Huh?"
Yeah. Didn't get it.
Not at all.
But no, the third one was hyped up for a while ago. I do believe they made a short film after this one to connect to another one. So Sam would go back and look for Flynn. Again, spoiler alert, Jeff Goldblum saves it to Jeff Bridges stays behind, doesn't he? But I sat there, I knew this movie was getting panned by critics, and I watched it and I just thought to myself, why? What is wrong with this movie? It's very underrated. I think if people watch it now, they think they'd be quite mind blown as to what it is.
Music
apart
is
from the
amazing,
music,
the visuals
are
are
so good.
That's why I didn't think it got panned. I didn't know.
What bridged the gap as well between the original and this? So between the two, I don't think it was that far off this. There was a Tron game that came out.
Yes.
Oh, there was, yeah.
And that was fantastic as well. And
Didn't they have it on the Wii as well? And you can
yeah, you could do the actual. Well, you can actually do it, but you can like
you make out like you're throwing the frisbee and stuff.
And catching the ball, the rebound, so as you hit it up on the ceiling and it knocks out the levels around the other player. Yeah,
so good. And I believe they've done. I don't know if you remember seeing it. That there was a Bluetooth speaker.
Yep.
With the frisbee. It looks. I always wanted one of those and never got it in the end. But yeah, I can't deny I had a blast with this movie. I still do. I think it's a fantastic sequel that shouldn't have got bad reviews, and we shouldn't have had to wait for the next one. But give it a shot. I'm not the biggest fan of the first movie. I remember seeing it as a kid.
I love the first movie.
I like it now, but I'm not the biggest fan of it because when I was young, I knew nothing. I was just mind blown by the effects at the time, but I didn't know what anything was happening
the
at the
first
time.
film, I mean, for me, it was part of the VHS revolution.
Yeah.
It was one of those ones because it was Disney, wasn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
So we'd rent it. You'd see the trailer for it. You rent it, and I enjoyed it. I was always because. Again, I think we're all on the same mind. It's that 80s sort of synthwave, and the look and the feel of it, and that I absolutely tapped into it. And I think I can probably owe a little bit to Tron for the fact that I love the 80s and the 80s aesthetics as much as I do.
Yeah.
It also links your, if I'm correct, your Turtles 2 as well. Well, Tron, the original, has David, what's his face, as the...
Yes, he was in the first one.
Yes, he does. Yeah,
David Warner.
That's
He was
David
in the
Warner.
first one,
He's
wasn't he?
the bad boss, and he also plays the bad program. I can't remember the name of the program, but yeah, he plays the bad program in Tron.
And it all spawned from a tiny teaser trailer that some fan made for Comic-Con, wasn't it?
Yes.
Tron Legacy. And then people were like, oh my God, there's another Tron movie. And there wasn't even one that works, but they ended up doing it in the end. Disney keep making them. It's underrated.
Sequel. They just took it. They didn't try and make it like a direct sequel. No, they just
because they couldn't. Too much time had
Too much time had gone by. Yeah.
From the first one, I can only remember the sort of tennis.
Yep.
And the bikes. That's pretty much all I can sort of remember from the first one.
But that's it, guys. That's a wrap for the top fives. Any honourable mentions?
Highlander 2.
You're actually going to highlight it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
The only reason, because it is, I think, the perfect example of a sequel that sucked, and you can't even like it because it sucked.
However, if you watch the director's cut, it's a completely different film.
Which sucked.
I mean, the director's cut wasn't great, but it explained a lot more.
There is a cut called the Renegade version.
Which is the version which is essentially the director's cut where the studio didn't get involved.
Exactly, yeah. And it kind of makes it a bit better, but yeah, I mean, I would just mention it. Any police academy.
Yeah. I'll go with that. Mission to Moscow,
Jaws
Citizens on Patrol.
Yeah. See.
T3, Iron Man 2.
Are you the 1% in that 3?
Oh, fuck, I must be.
No, he just skins past going, I like this guy.
Okay, right. Respect.
Come at me with this one.
Fred.
Thor, Love and Thunder.
Yeah,
yes.
I mean, I like
Alien
it.
Resurrection.
Yep.
US Marshals.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
The Amazing Spider-Man
That was
2.
so close to being on the list. US Marshals.
Bloody amazing film. Any Star Trek.
Yep.
And A Good Day to Die Hard.
Oh, you had it on there as well.
Karate Kid 3.
Yes.
And I'm going to go Karate Kid 4.
Is that with Johnny Silver?
No. So Karate Kid 3 is.
Yeah.
Karate Kid 4 doesn't have Daniel LaRusso.
No, it's Hilary Swank, isn't it?
It is Hilary Swank.
Wow.
Does the tiger style where
Isn't
she
that
jumps
called-
up onto the bonnet of the car.
But isn't that called The Next Karate Kid?
It is called The Next Karate Kid, yes. So there was that. I had Undisputed 2, which has the guy from Casualty in it. I can't remember the guy actor's name.
What?
Yeah, mate, he is amazing as Boyka. Boyka is, if you want to see a martial arts film and one that has the whole kind of Rocky vibe to it, Undisputed 2. I will tell you now, there is he gets battered, there's a scene where he gets his leg bent in two on the knee, and then after that he does a whole Jean-Claude Van Damme thing in his prison cell because it's set in a prison, and the idea is that you fight as the undisputed champion to get your freedom. And Boyka is this tattooed Russian thug who in the first film is the bad guy. In this film, it's his redemption arc to actually him being the hero. It's a fantastic film.
Okay.
Yeah. Boyka is also the third in the series. I think there's a fourth with Michael J. White or whatever it is in it as well. But yeah, 2 is fucking brilliant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any others?
Yeah, Step Up 2. No, I'm done now. That's it. I'm out.
Nice.
Child's Play 3.
3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that the one on the army camp?
Yeah. Where he changes the bullets.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Devil's Rejects.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Beverly Hills Cop 3.
Yes! Get fucking in there!
I can't do it. I
do
love
that.
those films, but that one just the stupid gun.
See,
Yeah.
that's the problem. People like you slating the good name of
Why
Uncle
does he
Dan.
need a radio in
Wonderworld. Which was basically Universal
Axel
Studios, but hey.
Fox. Yeah. RoboCop 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
My Man in
you
Space.
bastard, I had
Jason X.
Yeah, I knew that's what you were going to say.
Jason X,
I
really?
I went to see it in the cinema. I loved it.
I'm surprised you didn't have a Jason in movie.
Trainspotting 2.
Really?
Yeah, I enjoyed it, but it wasn't enough to kind of.
No way, no. Not on the list anyway.
Yeah, so that's why it's just still mentioned. Avatar 2. I know it was
You mean Avatar 1, the remake?
Remake one, yeah. See, it gets slated, but I enjoyed it.
Avatar
But
3,
it's
the remake
too
of
big a
2.
film to be on the list. Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yes!
Love that.
Yes!
And I should have put Lethal Weapon 3.
I had Lethal Weapon 4.
So
See,
Lethal Weapon 4 was going to make my list as well.
I thought 4 was too well received. When I was looking at it, I was like...
But everyone hated it, though,
Yeah.
because it was not the same as the other 3.
But 3 had one of the best characters ever. Rene Russo coming in.
Oh, yeah, she was great.
Rambo 4.
Rambo 4.
and,
Rocky 6.
People slate Back to
I
the
love
Future
Rocky
3.
6.
No.
Huh?
Back to the Future 3.
Yeah,
people
Back
say
to the
that.
Future.
I
It's not the
love...
greatest.
I like
I
it.
think
It's not as
brilliant.
bad as that, surely.
Jaws 4 beats Back to the Future 3.
Yeah.
Jaws 4
You
was
had that,
awesome.
folks.
Yeah, Jaws 4 would be nothing without the tropical setting, because it needs that.
And Michael Caine
picture.
killing the shark with a plane boat.
Was it one of the greatest quotes from Michael Caine? It was like, they slate. He goes, have you seen Jaws the Revenge? He goes, never. But I've seen the house that it bought.
Yes.
My mum, yes. So first of all, thank you for listening or watching, guys. We just want to take this time now to address what happened. Well, we've had a little break. We've been basically coming up with new stuff for the channel. You might have noticed that we haven't done anything for the board game side of the M.T.V.B. So we are just coming to you now saying that we have some great stuff coming up in line for the board game side, some new shows for that. We've got more commentary corners on the way. We've got more shows that will involve certain characters from the group. But I'm really excited for the board game side of M.T.V.B. It will be a little sneak peek of like some playthroughs, some how to plays, but something truly epic will be coming very, very soon for M.T.V.B. and the channel for M.T.V.B. So I think we've got all that to quite look forward to, and hopefully see what you guys think and let us know what you think of it. But for now, thank you for listening or watching. If you've got any recommendations for shitty sequels, that's not Jaws the Revenge. Or if you're the other
Up 3D.
What is the best, shittest film of all time?
of all time, give us some recommendations. If you're the extra
Jaws the
2% of
Revenge.
people that are out there for Jaws the Revenge, please get in contact with us and let Chris know about that. And we can start the fan club. Honestly, mate, we'll do it.
We'll do it. We'll find them.
I've just got
I'm
a new
sure I'm not part of that 2%.
I've just got a new T-shirt idea. It's great. But anyway, carry on.
This time it's 4%.
No. M.T.V.B. The Jaws 4.
The Jaws
Jaws 4 fan
Society.
club.
But yeah, again, thank you for listening, guys. So we'll be signing off there. I'd be Antman, followed by
Captain Two Lists.
And Supa Mario.
And Chris the Revenge.
The Revenge. I like it. Thank you for listening and watching, guys. Thank you and goodbye.
Bye.